Hello. Hello. You know what's good about having a VTuber model? I don't have to wear makeup. I don't have to fix my hair. I can just use this. The model will look the exact same no matter what my appearance is. It's great. Alrighty, let's see. So I've posted in all the places that I need to post as far as I know. Yeah, I can't really think of. Gosh, it's crazy to think, like, normally, like, when I get to a Monday or something like that, normally there's, like, some sort of, like, something I like, want to bring topic-wise, as news-wise, but, like, you know, there isn't anything that's, like, sort of explicitly in my psyche, personally speaking. Like, I know there's, like, you know, I think we've been, like, what, a week plus into Mitch McConnell, like, you know, fever, where we're just sort of like, oh, is he dead? Is he alive? We got a photo. It's like, oh, but the photo could be AI. It's like, oh, people have been saying we heard him on the phone, and it's like, well, that doesn't really prove much. So yeah, so we have that, and then we got the news of Lindsey Graham dying, which was a little bit nutty. Different senator entirely. But then we get the bad news of Sam Neill passing away. That one's recent news. That one's real sad. Hi there, Artemis. The paleontologist from Jurassic Park. He no longer with us, unfortunately. that's a funny email. That's a funny email, Goldie. But yeah, Goldie, thank you so much for being first. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, excuse me. So yeah, like other than those things, there isn't anything that's like explicitly at the top of my head in terms of no, I knew who Sam Neill is. I was asking about the first one you mentioned. Oh, Lindsey Graham. He's a Republican senator. So Mitch McConnell is like he's the big one because he's kind of like the ringleader. He's the one that's like, oh yes, like we lost and we're gonna do everything in our power to make it so that this will never happen again by doing gerrymandering and by packing the courts with our judges and da 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 da. Like he very much has like, you know, influenced all the way to, yeah, it was the Mitch one I was talking about. Yeah, so Mitch McConnell, he's been sent to hospital over like, you know, some health concerns and what have you, because there was a 911 call that was at his residence, and according to, like, you know, investigation journalism or something, they found that the 911 call that was for his house was for someone that was unconscious. And like there's all this information coming in where it's just sort of like, you know, we haven't heard from his offices after they were like, oh yeah, no, he's gonna make a wonderful recovery, because they got countered with the, hey, were you aware that the 911 call was for an unconscious person and he did not have an oxygen mask when they were putting him in the ambulance? Like, you know, what's happening there? And then the offices have just been stunned, like just been quiet. There's been like one or two other people that were like, ah, yes, I just got off the phone with Mitch McConnell for 20 minutes, and we talked about a lot of things like Israel and the budget and immigration and da 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 da. And it's just sort of like, you know, sad to Bonnie Tyler. I need a hero. Wait, did Bonnie Tyler die as well? Or how long ago was that? Was that like today's news? Oh God, is this what happens when we get into the month of July? Is just we just get like a dozen deaths? Hang on a second. Bonnie Tyler, a Welsh singer. Died July in Portugal. Aw, man. People have also searched for Bonnie Wright, Meatloaf, Jim Steinman, and Robert Sullivan. No idea who Robert Sullivan is. Alrighty then. Well, I just need to double check some tabs. I don't need that tab. I don't need that tab. I've already looked at that. That one has been recommended to me by another person. That's not important. Uh, 2 egg. All right, minimize this because we don't need that right now. But yeah, so not much new on my side of the world. I'm gonna be real with you. I have just been going about with my work, with my back, just been doing whatever I can. If any of you were paying attention at Sad Month, yeah, a lot of deaths. A lot of popular people's deaths. Thankfully, there hasn't been like any passing aways in like my immediate circle. I should be very, very thankful about that. I haven't had a phone call about my grandfather or any of my grandparents or any of my relatives, or at least the ones that I know of.
Oh, this.
Thank you, Tan Mugs, for being my biggest... Wait, it's not Tan Mugs. Thank you, Goldie, for being my biggest fan. Tan Mugs is no longer my biggest fan. Fuck him. You're my biggest fan, Goldie. So yeah, I honestly would have had... Let's see. The last time I streamed was back on Friday when we were going through the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. So my weekend, I very much was just, you know, sort of in a bit of a weird recovery mode, like trying not to do like too much to my body in an attempt to, you know, not have it in pain. And I was doing well for a period of time, but then for whatever reason, I thought last night to be like, oh, there won't be anything wrong with sleeping on my side. Oh lordy, sleeping on your side is a terrible idea. Sleeping on my side was a terrible idea while I'm trying to deal with like an upper rhomboid muscle. Hi there, Vol. Welcome to the stream. An upper rhomboid muscle in my whatsamahoozy right shoulder. It was just like really tight. So getting out of bed and needing to go about with the rest of my day and such like that, not a good idea. Not gonna lie, I had that call last month. Oh, the family member passing away. I'm sorry to hear that. I need to check in with someone. Alrighty then. I am gonna swap on over into my Zebra streaming channel just in case. Thank you for the head pats. I greatly appreciate it. Although Vol might need the head pats, quite frankly. Dreamt today that I was with furries at a campsite and someone brought a real zebra with them. She was kind and tactile. I petted her on the head and squeezed her. Rarely had such a pleasant dream. That's an awesome dream. My dreams are always slice of lives. They're either slice of lives, or if it's something crazy, it doesn't last forever. So for instance, like, this is one I've aired at like work and such like that, and you're probably gonna get a kick out of this. Like, the craziest dream I probably had was I was in a jungle or some sort of reserve and like swinging on the vines, like Tarzan style. And it was Taylor Swift or some other woman, some other famous woman was there with me and such like that. And I only remember the ending, which is like we were laying on the side of a hill, and like like a phone was going off, not my phone or anything like that, and like she picks it up and she's like, oh, I need to take this, and for whatever reason, dream me, this like just was like, no worries, I'll just wake up, and lo and behold, I woke up. I woke up from a dream because of an imaginary woman picking up a phone call and being like, oh, I'm sorry, I need to take this. What is up with my brain? And what's annoying is there was no phone ringing in real life. So for whatever reason, my brain was just sort of like, yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Also, hi there, Savage. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing all right. Have you got your Discord back? I saw your little tweet. I think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'm gonna like, you know, mention about Savage Wolf's Tea. Like, he got his account because like there was like that mass blocking and all that kind of nonsense because of false positives in Discord. His account got like banned or something like that. And then you then noted us on Twitter that Discord was trying to get you to renew your Discord Nitro subscription or something. Which was, gonna be real with you, frankly, hilarious. Oh yeah, that was so dumb. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they're like, you would think that because there's been a suspension on your account, that there would have been like a little change to like, you know, not having the subscription thingy-majiggy needing to go off again, but for whatever reason, it still did. Ugh, excuse me. Ugh. All right. What am I doing today? I am going to be playing some Abiotic Factor. That's what I'm going to be doing, because as I have been told by several different people, and I have been bullied by one of my moderators, that I need to get going into playing Abiotic Factor. I need to give it the college try. Now, I will be real with you. I did go through the opening tutorial. Oh, hi there, Jack.
Hi.
Hi. So yeah,
Hello
also,
there.
why is my thingamadiggy giving me a warning thingamadiggy? It's like, average ping, 0 milliseconds. That sounds like bullshit. I don't believe that one bit.
Hi, Artemis.
Are you giving in to Blue? I'm not, no, it wasn't Blue that told me about this, survival crafter. It's Jack. There is a clip out there of me, you know, seeing someone like raid into my chat, and I go like, "Hi, how was?" And then I see that the game they played was, it was Abiotic Factor, and for whatever reason, I was like, I heard it enough times that I was like, "Oh God, Abiotic Factor," and then Jack was just like, "Ayo, Abiotic Factor, ayo." It was the most energy and most excited I heard Jack in a long time.
Look, it's my favorite game. Okay.
So yeah, I'm not an idiot or like, you know, unknown to the survival crafters. Mostly this open world survivor crafters like Minecraft or The Forest or Rust or you know, the one me and Jack were kind of going through for a little bit while I was off stream. Hi there, Soylent Orange. Was Grounded. That one I was actually doing kind of all right with, but by God, am I not like motivated to like go back into it and such like that, especially as I'm going through Final Fantasy.
Oh, I don't blame you.
So I still need to
absolutely
get
do not
Grounded
blame
done
you.
at some point. Otherwise, it's gonna be, you know, an
Yeah.
absolute like slog. All right, I'm gonna start streaming this game here because I'm just doing a little bit of customization on my side just for the hellsies of it. Don't go with, and then, oh my God, yes, go with that one actually. Alrighty, save changes, enter the facility. I'm gonna start a new game, and then I'm gonna give the single player only? No. All right, I am going to give Jack, world name cannot be blank. What? It will need to be the server name. Okay, like, oh, world name. Okay. Here we go. I need to go on over onto here. So yeah, hello. Are you Abiotic Factoring without the Yeen mod? Yes, without the Yeen mod, because I have no idea what the Yeen mod is.
The Yin mod has a few things that are broken, so use it at your own risk, I guess.
Yeah, all mods are at your own risk. I think mods are fine in a single player, like not invading in other people's like play kind of thing. But if you go into like a multiplayer thing, then you got problems. All right, I need to give Jack the God damn it, Het! You can't be stealing my shirt after there's been all kinds of fishing throughout the wildlife while I'm in the middle of trying to get this core vid, the password, to get into Abiotic Factor. They need my full attention.
Don't say it like that, goddammit.
Say it like what? Also, if you check in the Zebra streaming chat.
You should see the password. Thank you for the hyper himbo, J Wolf. I greatly appreciate it.
I am just wearing some silly some silly stuff.
Your character is saved on a per-world basis. This means your character trades to a given server. Visual customized stored locally and carried between servers. You need to select a job. Oh boy, chat. I need to select a job.
You need to select a job!
I think I'm just gonna go with the first option.
Get
that gives me-
employed, fool!
Get employed, get a job. I have a job. You know what? House rule. You can't play Abiotic Factor unless you have a job. Jack, do you have a job?
I do.
Yes. Alright, you get to play Abiotic Factor with me.
Damn it.
The most threatening thing to a streamer. A job! Alrighty,
Let me join. Oh, I can't join you yet until you create your character. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, hang on. I'm going through my thingamajiggy right now. So I'm going as a lab assistant, which gives me extra sprinting and sneaking and a little bit of strength. I am going to go for... I'm gonna go for Night Owl. Actually, no, hang on. I'm not gonna go for Night Owl. I am gonna go for Wrinkly Brain. Hey, no! Why is everyone hitting all the redeems while we're in the middle of trying to create a character and I'm hyper himboed? You permanently gain 2 extra hotbar slots. I don't
You're
think
naked. I gotta attack you.
Ah! Some days I wonder if I could, like, run a stream for, like, an hour without actually being present into it, and people would just be like, yes, this is just a normal GrantZeebs stream. They're still getting their entertainment. We just helping you sell the selling the merch Zeebs? You know what my merch is right now? Subs. If you are subscribed to me, you're supporting me, or you can be throwing me bits, because here's the thing, is that, but more importantly, subs, because then that way, you don't have to deal with advertisements like this one. Did it work? I don't think it worked. Yeah, it worked. I just like to point out now that this is me, I'm being a very well-behaved snap. They're doing this for you, I reckon, is what's happening, Artemis. I reckon there's a secret cabal, there's a secret group chat that you've now formed that I was not aware of, where you're like, alright, listen, Grant is not giving me enough affection. I need to get him hyper himboed. I need to get his place. And then Code just farts in my stream. Would I do that? I don't know. I have learned very early on that you cannot be questioning the full length of the skills of a woman. She can do very many things, and there is no limit to their accomplishments. Hi there, Code.
Hi, sorry, I had to shake that one out. This was the other place with a large enough area to get it done.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Alright, so... Cookie for Night Sky. Here's your cookie. That's an absolute fallacy that you don't give me enough affection. You give me plenty. And yet all this happens. Maybe the problem is I don't give... Maybe it's chat doesn't get enough affection from me ever since I've, like, now become, like, a little more reserved. Maybe I'm falling down the alt-right pipeline and becoming ultra-conservative. That'd be very worrying.
Nah. You're all good. You haven't kicked me out yet. I mean, if you're on the alt-right type thing, you'd be kicking out all the gays.
Yeah, well, the thing
haze.
is they would be like...
And the nays.
The gays, the A's, and mays. But yeah, like, you see it with, like, some peeps where they're like, you know, they're on the internet, and then they start becoming, like, you know... What's the word I'm looking... Like, not... They don't start with conservative, they start with, like, being extra moral. Like, it starts becoming virtual singling stuff, where it's just like, oh, you can't be doing, you know, you can't be presenting skin on your Twitters.
To a photo studio.
Thank you for
Should
the
we
Nat 20
take a
shirt
color
there,
photo?
Soylent.
The photographer asks. No, black
I
and
don't think
white
those
is
Nat
enough.
20s are natural.
I think these Nat 20s are natural, thank you very much.
No,
Alright,
they're dirty, dirty 20.
so I'm going for the wrinkly brain meat. So, is it worth having a lot of points, or should I just be, like, trying to get as many positive traits as possible?
So it can vary depending on which positives to which negatives you want to put in. Like for me, I had wrinkly brain. What else have you got there? You've got feeble, okay, no, dry skin, honey appetite, dry skin, slow healer isn't a bad one to remove, like to have on as a negative, because it does give you the extra 3 points. It just means you heal a little bit slower when it comes to using like natural healing sort of thing. It's not a terrible one to have.
I feel like the hemophilia I'm definitely going to be fucking up on, though, so... What about
Yeah, I
weak
didn't have
bladder? Is it worth? Is there a lot of places I can shit in the lab, or...
Yes, there's a lot of places you can shit. You can always bring extra plastic in case you make a mess as well.
And also you can make a toilet as well that you can use at the base to collect poopy.
Yep.
Okay, so slow healer and weak bladder might be something to turn on.
They're not terrible, but they're probably the least terrible ones out of the lot.
Yeah, and then
I had a problem trying to eat the food at my base, so I tend to use everything.
No, hang on. You might want to. You gotta use those points.
Yeah.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
You have available points. You have 10 available points for positive traits.
Oh, okay. So
because you put in some negative traits, it gives you points for positives.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go for buff Brainiac because I'm buff, and a lead stomach. Oh wait, no, I can't get the lead stomach. I need something. So 3 and 2.
Well, it depends. What sort of fighting style do you think you're gonna utilize? You think you're gonna be more ranged?
Punch.
Are you gonna use punching things? Self-defense is really good then if you want to use more close-range weapons.
Yep, awesome.
Because it gives you...
-1, so I could probably... You know what, I'm going to get rid of the weak bladder, just so then that way I'm not randomly holding on to it, because I don't want to hold on to...
Yeah, if that's not... Yeah.
Alright. Ready.
Ready.
You going to be joining us, Code? I don't mind.
Yeah, I can jump in and give you a hand.
Awesome.
I can't join you, which is very strange.
I don't think we've met.
Do you need to send me an invite?
We are for... Let's see.
Yeah, it says that you are not playing a game for some reason, and I'm like, huh? What do you mean?
Multiplayer game, not pause. Pausing only available in single player. So that means you are in a multiplayer game.
Yep. Let me copy the lobby code, so maybe it's that. Just be advised that, like...
Not again.
What? Huh?
There we go. Alright, so I'm putting those details in there. Hello. Sure. I'll grab you.
Ah, you're stuck here
Hang on.
too, eh? I came down from level 8 for a coffee. Now I'm locked in here for God knows how long. It'll be those fools on level 3 overreacting again.
Joining?
Oh, hang on. I just got hit with a loud private and public connection, so I think you're trying to connect now.
He knows what's happened, but take your time. He's insufferable.
Yep.
Alright, let me just
and I'll be there
see.
Requires a
Go. Oh, it's not showing you playing the game though, Grant. Are you offline or?
No, I'm playing it right now. And Jack just
Are
joined, so...
Are you doing it through Steam or?
No, I'm doing it through the Xbox Game Pass.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because I've got it on Steam, so... let me see.
Should allow, like, cross thingy-majiggy. Alright, so that's where a toilet is.
Hang on. Let me just have a look.
Nice. Cool. Oh, there's no reflections in this game?
Nah, not really.
Maybe we're all vampires. Maybe that's the twist.
Oh no, it allowed me to join, so it is crossplay.
Alright. Yep, you just joined. Alright, pick up some duct tape. Tech scrap, thank you. So wait, are you here, Jack, or?
Joining.
Okay.
I just made my character. Hey,
Oh, wait, can I kick this? No.
If Jaeger thinks I'm
What in the...
through the
Where are those glasses? That's cool!
What?
another
Yeah?
thing coming.
It's like, what's Mahoo's?
Gurren Lagann.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you noticed, but you have picked the female body.
What?
You have picked
You
the
as a
female body.
lady.
I did not know that. Can I change that?
You'd have
Yes.
to exit the game unless
Oh my
we make the
god.
cosmetic
That wasn't
station.
on purpose, okay?
No, I know, because it's the same mistake my friend made as well.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't exactly clear, like,
the-
so I don't blame you for making that
Pipe.
mistake.
Duct tape and power? Nice. I now know how to craft a bench. Is this necessary? Nope. And an energy brick. Nice. Oop, where'd you go? Oop. Can we answer that?
No, that was just me pinging you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was an option.
It's the plus key on your numpad. Yeah.
Nice.
If not, you can press and hold B, and then you can also bring up like an emote wheel, so in case
okay.
you want to break it down in sections.
So what's funny in mine, because I've got the hyena mod, whenever I do it, I make hyena noises.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm not using the hyena mod because my character will look a lot different if it is with the hyena mod.
Keep GrantZeebs? Fine, I guess we're keeping... We can't go through that, can we?
Whereabouts are you guys? Oh, there you go.
You can
Here
try
you
it out.
Look, it's a spinning
hello.
death fan, okay? I'm not born yesterday.
I know how to get through it if you want to know how to get through it later.
Hang on. Alright, so... Can I...
Don't be shy. Come on. Have a look at it.
Why is it?
Get fucked.
If you're sneaking,
go.
it's not gonna bother you.
Oh, we can't get materials from that. Carbuncle. Oh. No, don't eat it! Fuck's sake.
Did you eat it?
No, he ate the scrap, I think, was what he did.
Stop!
You do know that.
Hang on, Grant.
Yep. Oh. Oh.
Did you not do the tutorial?
Of course not.
I kind of forgot.
No.
Cookie from a Sonic! But hey, okay, so... Alright, so let me just... where's the crafting? There we go. Craft a net.
Yep.
There we go. I now have
Yep.
a net. So the next time we do this, we'll be good. And I can get myself a screwdriver, too. And some duct tape. Alright.
Toolbox mine.
Ooh. Duct tape.
This is my toolbox now.
Duct tape.
We're having soft tacos later.
Another...
Can you not
Screwdriver?
take all the screwdrivers? Excuse me, sir.
Sorry. I'll drop it when
Yeah,
I...
we all need stew drivers.
Alright, well, I'm over in the... Hang on, let me drop
Press G.
this.
Press G. There you go.
Alright, so...
I mean, how else are we gonna get out of the playpen?
Oh, yeah, from, Rugrats, right? I got that reference. I understood that reference.
There.
Ow. There we go.
Oh my god, I've been playing on apocalyptic mode. Just seeing them jump so slow is really, really...
Oh, so this is gonna be, like... this is gonna be a cakewalk for you. As the subject matter expert...
for me.
Oh, okay. Well, as the subject
I've
matter
only-
expert, you will be able to direct us.
No.
I've only played up to close to the fixing the pipes in the mines.
The what at the what?
Don't worry
Fixing the
about
pipe. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Email terminal. Hi, Kentaro. I'm looking for a gift for a friend of mine who loves cooking. Any thoughts? They want to be a chef? Give him a knife. Until you chop it up, you can't cook it. Oh my god, this is so slow. Oh, apparently we can now make a shiv. Wait. Was that because of any of yous?
it. No.
Okay.
You got the recipe from reading the computer. Do you still need a screwdriver? Does any of you need a screwdriver?
I got a screwdriver.
Did you put that food onto the?
No. It's been there.
Frying pan.
Code, do you need a screwdriver?
Yeah, I will need one.
Okay, I have a spare. Here you are. Dropped it on the floor.
There we go.
in the gunk.
Think. Ooh, ice cream. Alright, I'll leave it in here because it's cold enough as is.
Where'd that frying pan go? There was a frying pan sitting here.
Oh, I got the frying pan.
There is a chef hat and a chef apron here. You guys can have it.
Oh, so you can place it. Oh.
So this is one of the only free cooking stations here at the moment. So it's helpful for for doing a bit of cooking for a little bit.
Okay.
There is another kitchen knife in the corner here if you need it.
Ooh, yes, please.
Ooh, plastic scrap. Nice.
Also, the dead dude over here has a chef's hat and a chef's apron.
Okay. The chef is now cooking. Oh shit! Sorry. I didn't think you were that close. I didn't think you were that close. I'm sorry, Code.
Here I am cooking you a nice meal, and you stabbed me, you whore.
This is
here
this carbuncle is fucking raw. Wait, is it done cooking yet?
No, not yet. It'll change.
Yeah, then
color
it's
in a second.
fucking raw. Sorry, what was that, Jack?
Desk leg for you. Desk leg for you.
Huh? There. Oh, there's a plank.
There you go.
And oh,
Here.
awesome.
Now it's cooked.
Oh, so now I can eat this?
Yeah, it'll still give you some radiation poisoning, but you can eat it.
Nice.
Please pick up the desk leg.
I already got the desk leg. Code's
Oh,
missing the
Code.
desk leg.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of things.
Here.
There we go.
And then you can cut it up and get the meat out of it.
Nice. Did that.
I find this area is a great place for a starting base.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's always a great place for starting base.
Alright, well, top cupboard, I'm gonna put the bio scrap in there. And the raw
Glug,
carbuncle.
glug, glug, glug.
Oh, I need to take a sippies. Thank you for the 1 bit,
All
bestest
major
boy.
power outlets are shut down, as well as most pathway
Okay.
lighting. However,
okay, I see.
if your research
Gotcha.
or study requires a source of
Okay,
energy
so
during
I
nocturnal
have a
hours,
bunch of
protocols permit the use of approved battery and electrical
materials.
storage systems to power
Go
your
make some
project
things.
when the lights go.
I also have materials.
I need the duct tape, and I can make us the workbench.
Yep.
There we go. Cookie for bestest boy. Here's your cookie. Code in an abusive relationship. This is not an abusive relationship. This is just a relationship filled with accidents and forgiveness.
Abusing me, Chad. Wow.
Shh, shh, shh. It's not abuse. It's okay. You're fine. You're fine. Okay, you're fine.
See, he was trying to cover me. He was trying to cover my mouth just then, Chad. That shows you how abusive he was.
Shh. You're fine. You're fine. Okay.
Oh, I have a mod that apparently lets me put things on a grid, so fuck. Shit.
That's cool.
That's gonna be great. Yeah.
Oh, can I pick this up?
Yay.
Yes, you can.
Awesome. And
It'd be nice to
then-
break it if we need materials. We are going to need to make the crafting bench. If you
I've got it
haven't
already made.
Yay!
Oh, where is it? Ah, you're putting it over here.
So it has
Cool.
been busy.
All right. How do I rotate? Ah, it's R. Okay, cool.
So they've added a new thing too, which I like this. You can actually now put a little wall plug in. So if you want to make the cords a little bit neater, you can sort of do like, you can do just like a place there and then place like, into the thing to actually have some cornering for your cords. I love that now. I love that it's so neat and tidy now.
I think they've had that for a while, but yeah, it's actually really nice to have it.
There's food in this microwave and I can't get to it. Oh, I can open the toolbox.
No, you know what they should have done? Like, press a button and then the food in the microwave just like, explodes.
Could have been good. All right, I'm gonna.
Also, here's a little trick for you as well. There's first aid kit's got some stuff in it.
Hang on a sec.
If anyone wants it.
Yeah, I put it in there.
Ah, good.
Okay,
But
so,
this bin here, right? Whatever items you throw in here, if you've got items you don't want anymore, you can throw them in there and actually delete the item.
Oh. Well, I don't want to
you
do
can
that.
actually delete items right now.
I feel like that's a bad idea in a survival crafter.
It is a little bit, especially early on.
Cool. All right. Oh.
Yes, we're going to leave you standing there, Jaeger.
Because you're a fucking nonce.
Oh. Okay. Now there's things I need to learn about.
Yep. So I guess take your time and craft some things if you need to.
All right. I now know how to make a makeshift battery. Raw carbuncle with some plastic scrap and some duct tape. I can make a carbuncle crown.
Save the carbuncle for something else. Like a vacuum cleaner.
Chef's counter.
Like my favorite item, the funny vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Yeah, that thing's a hoot and a half.
I can't work under these conditions.
Repair and salvage station. Ooh, a makeshift backpack. Although this isn't worth it because.
Where are you guys gonna put your crates?
I was gonna put it in the cafeteria room.
Over here.
Yeah, that's normally what I do. I normally use the I'll normally use the cafeteria, like the bench, because well, not really. Like I normally have like 2 cooking spots here in the cafeteria. I'll have like my food-based crates near that little area there. And then like in one spot in the cafeteria you can sort of use for planters and things like that.
Okay.
Ah, okay. No, I have a storage crate right now, and I just want to put some things in there.
Normally, like, when I was like playing this a little bit, I was playing it here. Grant, that's a reference to Half-Life 1. The carbuncle or the microwave casserole. Yeah. Damn it. I want the casserole. Ever since I've stopped eating food, I get hungry for things, but I know it's a bad idea.
Oh, you stopped eating food? I haven't eaten today.
What did you just do?
What are you doing?
Nothing.
How did those end up back there?
It's to prevent soft locking in case you guys have made something else with the energy cell that you're supposed to make.
Oh, yeah. God.
This is like it spawns a lot faster than normal. This is the only thing that spawns a lot faster than normal.
So
I had
just
no
for the starting
idea.
Area.
That just scared the crap out of me.
Because quite often I would actually make the vacuum, and without the energy brick, you couldn't actually progress.
So wait, do we want to break these then?
Yeah, you do. They're just extra materials, so why not? Okay, I'll put a fucking storage crate down here. We can
more
move
desk
this.
legs. Ow. Where's your storage crate?
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, we can use it as temporary storage until, I don't know, we find something else. So we need to make an energy brick to unlock the door and to stop Jaeger from bitching at you.
There's a...
You can also label the crate.
Yeah.
You can also label the crate. Have
there
fun
we go.
with that.
Temp storage. There we go.
After playing with a person who refuses to label his things,
they're an idiot. You should label things.
No, he didn't want to. He was like, I'm a pro gamer. I don't need to label things. And then he promptly forgot where he put like 20 different items.
Platform cart.
Hey, where did I put my gun? Oh, right, in the this one here that does not have gun labeled on it.
Conditions.
I can't work under these conditions. Oh, have you made the power chair, by the way?
No,
You need to. It's really fun.
I will joust you.
Okay.
Hello. Over here.
Hello.
Come on. Come on. Make the energy
Oh.
brick.
Oh,
You're
hang on.
new.
It's
Looks like that little
over.
pest.
So I make it from here.
System.
Where's
Can you
the
get
yep.
someone to fix it?
energy
But
brink?
hurry, would you?
I
I'm not
do
enjoying
not have the
this
resources
the-
I need.
out here.
Unless, hang on.
It
It's in
was
the crate.
hours
It's in the crate.
last
It's in the
time.
crate.
I don't feel
So you only
There
need one
is-
power supply, one circuit board, one case fan, and one tech scrap.
Yep. We can definitely make more crates later.
so-
When we are looking for materials.
Okay, only grabs it as 4, so hang on. Is there a way for me to just grab only one? There we go. So I need a circuit board. Tech scrap, was it?
Let me see. Power supply unit, circuit board, tech scrap, and case fan.
Okay.
You
one
can
of each.
pin anything you want to try and build that you want to try and remember the build thing for.
No, I was just in the
you can
inventory
do that
menu,
too.
so it doesn't it didn't show it there, is all. Masonic wants to know if they can pet the crow.
Sure.
Hurry!
There we go. Oh! Fuck you.
Beat the shit out of him! Beat the shit out of him! Get his ass! Become our winner.
There we go.
Ah, crap, I'm bleeding. Who's got bandages? Hang on.
Bandages in. Yep, it's in there.
Yep.
He's got it.
Alright. I'm just gonna put the radioactive skull in here.
Security protocols are now in effect. Please locate security personnel
There we
and
go.
follow evacuation procedures.
Alright. Okay, so the door is open, but I'm guessing this door can never be closed. Wait, can I grab this? No, I cannot. What the? What's up?
Nothing. I wanted to do a noise.
Ah, okay. And then,
Hiyo.
hello.
So, here's a map.
Here, mate.
Take a map. Nice.
Nuh-uh. I don't want to go over
Look,
there.
I don't know what's going on. They don't tell me squat on a good day, and this isn't a good day.
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
if the big voice says, get out, I'd do what she says.
Okay.
Elevators are dead, so head for the main tunnel in manufacturing on level 2. There's maps over there. But me, I'm staying right here.
With all of his canned peas and grape soda, I see.
He does have some, one useful item you can get off of him in trade,
An
which is an employee
Oh.
locator.
I got that skull. Hang on a
The
second.
same to me.
Dun, dun, dun.
It comes in really handy to find certain people.
All right. Hang on. Let me just go into the radioactive cupboard and pick up a skull. There we go. Meow. I love how just the simple act of sprinting is giving me experience. Nice.
Reckon I'm leaving here? I
Alright.
don't think so. Radio's dead, half the doors are buggered.
I now have
Copy things every
an employee locator. Oh, you can just...
Very good.
But
Nice.
if
Nice, nice.
Just
anything
equip.
you
Just
like
make sure to
turns
equip
up,
it.
come
Yep.
see me for
It's
it.
a
So now
keychain
you'll
on my
be-
belt.
Now you'll be able to see any employees that are hidden around the area, as well as easily keep track of Jack and I. And we can see you.
Just you. I got
Hmm.
food.
Can I break this table?
Dr. Derek Mance reporting.
Yeah, feel free to.
Research Director, Gate Cascade Research Facility. Originating in Antiverse 2, IS-171 is a stationary,
Oh,
sessile
what the-
entity that traps its food with a retractable tentacle. The experience of being caught is rather like being attacked by an angry pizza. It presents no real threat, but leaves an enduring, not entirely unpleasant smell on anything it touches. Suggestions for possible applications include perfume, industrial scents, and olfactory-based crowd control weapons.
That man sounds
talking about-
boring. Boring.
They're talking about the carbuncle.
Oh. Just hit it
I
in the
did
head.
pick up a sofa so we can make a makeshift bed. I did also pick up a water cooler so we have some water.
Oh, cool.
Hmm?
Oh, I can
Yes.
see employees through the walls.
Yep, you can. I know where they are, so you have fun with that.
I know where a good majority of
Oh,
them
nice.
are
I
as
got melee level
well.
1.
Get his ass. Get him! Get him!
Oh, I'm bleeding. Hang on.
His nuts off.
You okay?
I'm just bleeding. One moment, please.
Here, come here.
Thank you, Code. Mwah.
Wow.
Did you see that, Ottos? Did you see that?
Look, look, I got first aid, okay? I felt like it needed some affection after I accidentally stabbed you. I'm sorry.
There's a few items here I forgot I can't pick up right now.
I'll allow it.
I'm gonna go drop off some stuff, and then I'm gonna come back here. There is a map right here that you can pick up as well.
Hang on a second.
There's the level 2 map, not the level 1 map.
Oh!
Do just be careful, because there are a few stronger creatures in this area.
Yep.
Noted.
In my honest opinion, just sidestep. You'll be
Soil
fine.
bag. And then Dr. Manzi.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting.
Oh,
Research
Mance,
Director.
sorry.
We now believe
Fancy.
IS-171, or the carbuncle, as Peters was calling it, is the larval form of IS-173, and almost certainly 178. Dr. Pendleton speculates there may also be a fourth state we have not yet encountered, and I believe she may be correct. If this is correct, it is an extraordinary shift in our understanding.
It's an extraordinary shift in
What?
our understanding.
A gaseous nest? What is...
Yeah.
Oh. I can pick it up.
So you can use that to jump on.
Oh, it's like a trampoline.
Yeah.
Great for getting into high reach places.
There is a place you can use it for now.
Right now, I'm trying not to... I need to find... Ooh, you can make a makeshift chest plate. Oh. Why are you in the closet?
I thought they were coming to help, but they weren't gatekeepers. They started shooting. I wasn't trained for this. I'm just a receptionist.
Oh, Zag.
Is he gonna be okay?
I know how
Hey, look, a backpack!
I know how he feels.
No, that's a Zag.
Basic backpack.
That's a Zag.
Alright, well, be sure to turn the lights off, and I'll see you later, guys. Alright.
Hello.
In there.
Just dropping off some stuff here that I've found. I did find a extra 2-seater couch. I've also made a cloth rope. I'm going to put that up.
Hold on.
I've also found extra food. What time is it? It is still morning. Okay.
Hang on. My health, so I have no health issues. I'm not thirsty or hungry or tired. You do not receive any splatter from liquids such as blood. You can chop up corpses a bit faster. Oh, that's what the chef's hat does.
Yeah.
Alright. How do I...
How do you?
The brain will figure out what it is I want to do. Give me a minute.
I believe in you. Oh, sorry.
No, that's not.
I tend to prefer putting the crates in the same room as the crafting bench, so we don't have problems of trying to having to like walk past each other through very thin doors. Do you guys have telephones? Desk phones?
No. Ooh,
There were some up on the second floor, though.
Yeah, I am hoping to get something so that I can
and then
get us some extra food if we need it.
S2?
And I have made an extra 2 more storage crates. So more storage. I'm just gonna shove it in the corner here.
Okay, so how do I pin? Oh, there we go. So, wood planks and plastic scrap. Okay. Also, who put something radioactive in here? Like, we got a radioactive shelf.
Sorry, might be.
There we go. Kitchen holds the radioactive stuff. I need plastic scrap. That's paper, that's cloth. Tech, metal.
Are you looking for something?
Yeah, I was looking for past. Okay, so that's temp storage. So what storage is this? Is this just craftables? Or
Honestly, everything is craftable, so in my honest opinion, we should probably sort them eventually.
Alright, well,
I like to have one crate just having all the scrap, and everything else is just, I don't know, maybe by region or something.
alright, metal scrap.
That's
I normally
usually how I
do.
sort
I
my
normally
stuff.
do also have like one for.
Okay, so
like you know, for ranged weapons, close range weapons, armor, that sort of stuff.
Alright,
Yeah.
well, this is going to be the scraps.
Okay.
And then this here looks to already hold our Uzi. Cafeteria tray, circuit board.
Storage. I'm just helping with sorting.
Also,
Here
why
you
do
go.
I have these in my... Hang on.
Scrap, okay. Storage crate. I don't know, office supplies? Since this is the office sector right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, a wood plank should be in scraps.
Oh, are we
Because
putting
technically
planks
it
into
is a
scraps
scrap.
then?
Yeah. I also put duct tape in scrap. I know there's a lot of things that's basically labeled as scrap, but wood planks, we're going to encounter that a lot, so I would consider that scrap. I'm also carrying a bunch of things that are just, like, for me to help weight training.
Is there some way for the
Strength training.
bench to, like, grab resources from, like...
Not now. We have to go into another region, and that's not available to us now.
Ah, okay, okay. So, let me have
But
a...
it can be available soon. We just have to, you know, deal with it for now.
All good, all good. Let me have a look and see what I can... Oh, hello. Dink, donk. Donk? Damn it. Okay,
right now, I think the
do
most
not like
important
this
thing
little
will be
mini
to...
game.
Armor. You don't like the crafting minigames?
Not really.
I discovered that Dr. Stern's
you know you can turn it off, right?
software experiment was
You can? How?
Yes, you can, but you have to do it in the sandbox settings.
Within it. Even myself, I guess.
You will get your achievements.
When I asked about it, he claimed to be trying to find a way to accelerate our research. I inquired about the ethical considerations, and he just looked at me blankly. The man is a genius, but more dangerous to this facility than most of its subjects. I'm sure of it. An exceptional scientist, all the same.
An exceptional scientist, all the same.
Oh. The young zooming bonk.
What time is it? Okay, let me know when it's like nighttime.
It is
I want to
1
show you
p.m.
guys- Yeah, then we can definitely go through that.
Oh, there's a limit to how much each of these things can hold. Alright, what can we do about... Oh, it can be scrapped at a repair bench. Okay, how do we scrap these?
We can't. Not right now.
Okay. I'm gonna use.
I'm putting bioscrap in the scrap crate as well, so cupboard will be for food.
Well,
one of the things I did actually raise in my own game would be like how many items in a single stack, because that was making me lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah, it's losing mine a little bit. I don't like when games like decide to be like, oh, you can only hold like, you know, 4 of this one thing in a stack. I'm like, for fuck's sake, like in Minecraft, the rope material is too weak to be climbed. What?
Yep, you can only descend the rope. I put it there because it's easier for you to come back down. You just have to remember that it's there.
Okay, okay.
Besides, we're gonna be walking up a lot, so yeah.
Okay, okay. Can I break this glass and see if I can get to these guys?
No. I know what you're thinking, but no. The answer is no.
Oh.
Go, man.
Oh, hey, cafeteria tray. Okay, I don't really have a lot of money, so I'm gonna use my money. Huh.
You're spending your money already?
I'm not. I was just saying.
You spending your money already?
I'm being frugal. I haven't bought any food. Although I do need to go get some sleep. Hang on a second.
Sleep on the couch.
Lie down.
Yeah, you can sleep on the couch for now.
Oh, hey, there's a...
I am holding onto a sofa, so if anybody wants that, I can make that right now.
We should look into making a sleeping area at some point.
Yeah.
Is there like a conclusion to that little mini game, or?
No.
No.
Okay.
But it's a fun mini game to speed up your sleeping.
Oh, is that what it's for?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Let's see.
Require...
would you like a pipe club? May I interest you boys in a pipe club? You
know, I think a pipe.
I'm gonna go with sharp weapons. I'm gonna go with sharp weapons.
Getting a bit hungry.
Can have one. I'll be using something else in the meantime. Yeah, I have the couch here. I just put it in temp storage for now. I'm just gonna pick up like a bunch of random stuff, honestly.
Now, who was hangry?
Me.
Me.
I picked a trait that makes me hungrier. Don't worry, I'll be killing a lot of things.
Alright.
You see, that laughter doesn't make murder sound any less murdery.
I think Code is the most sane out of the 3 of us. Oh, look at that! The backpack shows through the... So we're vampires! Look at that.
I guess we are.
Like... God damn this place. Also, are you asleep right now? Yeah. Okay.
Code, I have picked up a standing lamp so you can make a makeshift spear.
Oh yeah, that'll be helpful.
Okay.
I will need.
Because I've also got the crossbow too.
Ooh, crossbow, good.
The power sockets are all on a timer. I was working on a mass dampener and the place just shut down. You know those that have to warm up for hours? Now I have to start all over again. Just keep an eye on your wristwatch. Don't start a task you can't finish before the facility power goes out. Why the hell were you working at midnight anyway? Get some rest. We can't afford to make it mistakes. Okay.
I have put it in the temp storage, the standing lamp. I'm just running around and picking up junk, essentially.
Yeah, okay, okay.
And also picking out whatever I think we need. Eventually I'm gonna grab
I don't think I got the recipe for the spear.
Oh, you don't?
You able to share it?
Stakeholder and...
oh, sorry.
Ooh,
you able to share it?
There you go. Hey, no, that is the pipe club. I'm a dumbass. Oh, hold on. Was not computing. Hold on. Oh, you probably don't have... You haven't picked up a desk phone, probably.
Oh, I can make a makeshift spear now.
There you go. You usually unlock it when you pick up the lamp. sometimes you need the phone as well. Let me... Code, do you
Why
have a
a-
backpack?
I do not just yet.
Let me see if I can grab an extra for you. I know where to get another backpack that's better, but I want one of you to follow me, so at least you know where to get this one in the future.
Oh, hang on. Should I be following you?
Yeah.
The feeling of raw chicken is the absolute worst. What, like, to eat? Absolutely. Or are you just talking about holding raw chicken?
Raw chicken is fine. Raw chicken is fine. I am upstairs by the pool. Second backpack.
Whee! Wait, okay. Oh, I was just there! Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so you were... Oh, okay.
I'm standing still.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. So we're just gonna
Hang on.
run a little bit. Yeah.
Nah, broken. Alright, let's see. Can I get this two-seater? Yeah.
I did pick up one, so you just need to pick up another, I guess.
Yeah, I picked up one. Money! Oop.
Money! Anyway, this way.
Hang on. Oh my god, I can get a Slurpee.
Yeah, you can get a Slurpee. You make a fucking Slurpee grenade. Can you pick that up?
I perceive
There
a
is another knife here
distinct
you can
lack
pick up.
of snacks.
There we go.
Oh, tomatoes in the fridge.
Oh! I think I got a brain
Frozen.
freeze.
Yeah, you've been fucking frozen.
Okay. Alright, I will grab the knife. There we go. And then... Kitchen stove requires a reinforced hose. And I'm kind of out of space.
Gotcha.
So, I'm gonna need to go...
We eat some of these peas.
Long office couch. Is there another backpack
That is
here?
also... no, I have another backpack here, but I'm going to show you the one to get the better one.
Okay.
I thought
You need to
I
follow
was
me.
there, but I'm still
Okay.
here. Am I? I'm here, but she's
Alright,
there.
so into the office. Through here.
Yep, careful.
Oh yeah, there's this, the big guy.
Smack his head. Yep, smack him in the head. He's weak in the head. As most things are, usually.
Cool. Alright, headshots. Gotcha.
Okay, so down here, if you jump over here, there's a ledge. You go down the ledge. And there is a early game, pretty good backpack if you want to grab it.
Oh.
Nice. Ice cream!
And also, this one's for you, Code. Basic backpack.
Plastic bucket.
Yeah, the ice cream won't start melting until we pick it up, so I don't know. We don't have a fridge right now. We might not want to do that right now.
Okay, alright.
Okay, lots of enemies upstairs, so just be careful. I am too heavy, so I'm gonna have to bring some of this stuff back first, fortunately. Careful when you're too heavy, by the way. If you see the message on screen, try not to jump. You just hurt yourself doing that.
Alright. Iodine reduce radiation someone receives as well as reduce okay, so no point in drinking that. A box of screws. Nice. And then... Alright, back upstairs. No, we can just...
I recommend breaking the computers.
Well, these aren't... Oh, wait, this is an email terminal. The dog thing. So we finally caught one of those dog things. KP calls it a peccary until she realized how large it was. I've noticed their behavior is different here than in Antiverse 2. She had a theory that the lower entropy on this side makes their biochemistry more potent. They're stronger. It certainly seems more angry. Reply from Dixon. Interesting. Certainly the energy differential is strongly in our favor, but I wouldn't jump to conclusions. We don't know enough. Imen Banco. You're behind the times. Apparently the team on level 3 has figured out a way to use the differential of their new power cell design. Catch Mayfield at lunch sometime. She'll talk your ear off about it. Ah, okay. To cook, then to eat. I am currently making dinner. Nice. Alright, I don't need the dog thing. I'm certain some of our people have been working extra hours and not returned to the residence sector each evening. I've been hearing some of them have built beds down there.
I don't care what gender you are. Blue! Put on the maid outfit!
Haha.
Haha.
It's uncalled for. You two need to get maid outfits at some point for your streams.
Sure. Give me the money to get Milky to make it.
Chat, go support Code the Yoshi, so then that way...
He too can have himself a maid outfit to fit his big body. Oh, apparently I can't shut you out for another 7 weeks. Ow! And getting upskirted. Uncalled for.
Damn.
Who's Randy? Oh, they're talking about that Randy. Oh my god, that's such a low JPEG. Alright, oh, I can break this.
I mean, they could have been talking about the Viper Randy Orton.
Ooh, I wonder, can I?
No, you cannot.
No, I'm at 94% chance to break. Damn it.
We have 3 sofas back here, by the way.
No, it wasn't the sofas, it was the filing cabinet.
Yeah, you should try to get a filing cabinet. 3, maybe. 1 for each of us.
Here we go, 94% chance. A loot spill bag. Take all.
Yep, that's in case you break something when there's items inside it.
Radio.
I thought this might be a safe place to wait until they sorted this out. Whatever this is. Looks like I was wrong. That useless rent-a-cop in the plaza said to go through manufacturing, then head for the surface tunnel, I suppose. But that's a whole sector away. If they think I'm walking all that way through their toxic machine shops, they can think again.
This sector will be powered down momentarily.
Oh,
If you have not already evacuated,
that's not good, is it?
consider this your top priority. Have a wonderful and productive evening.
Is there any
It just
benefits to a desk phone?
Ow.
Yeah, you need a desk phone for a few things, so if you can, try to pick it up.
Alright.
I broke my legs.
Oh, you broke your legs. Why? What'd you do?
I missed the rope.
You missed the rope?
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to put a desk lamp there so you know where it is?
No.
Okay.
Are you eating your feelings right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we need to get a fridge. We definitely need to get a fridge soon.
And my feelings, I mean, a giant bag of lollies from the sugar station that I paid like $35 for.
I have seen death.
Once I get under 100 kilos, I am most certainly going to eat my feelings once again. It's gonna be glorious. Gate security crate. I can't open it.
Hey, I see no problem with eating your feelings. I do that all the time and I am fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yum, 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 yum.
I'll be
holding
real
on
with
to,
you.
like, 4
Meats.
frying
Those are my
pans.
go-to. It's either meats or peanut butter. Those are my two, like, you know, guilty pleasures.
Mm.
So it's
I
either
had
gonna- What's your guilty pleasure?
while
Cody?
I was over in Melbourne with my family. I took him to a Japanese restaurant. I was like, oh, it's so good.
Alright, office supplies. Store all of the supplies.
My sister, who normally hates spicy food, was even like, wow, I actually kind of like this.
And then...
Oh, nighttime. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Oh, is...
So, I was pumping iron the other day.
What?
Grant, where are you? Are you coming?
Where are we going?
It's nighttime. The ventilation the ventilation fans are off.
Oh, okay.
Jack, do you have another splint at all?
Nope, but you can make one. Should be able
Yeah,
to.
I tried to. I couldn't make it for some reason.
What? You can't make the splint?
Either that or I didn't see where it was. Hang on.
Wait, can I
Grant,
break
where are
this?
you?
I'm going through the, what's in who's here?
Ah, that's who I'm following.
But I can't see shit right now.
Not too bad. You don't need to see it. I know where everything is. Come through the door. This is the most important item here. In this corner. Look at the anvil.
Oh!
Normally, you'd have to go up to level 3 to get the anvil.
Binders. Nice.
You can get a flashlight here in case you want it.
Wait, what's this?
What?
You need a test tube for that thing.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
it
am
faded away.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. It shows up every night, so you can try again if you have test tubes.
9mm ammo, 9mm ammo.
Perfect for if we get a gun later.
Yeah. Yeah. Metal pipe. Metal pipe.
Metal
All the
pipe and
pipes.
a pressure gauge.
Oh, you broke the hammer?
Yeah, I broke my hammer.
Why'd you break your hammer?
I was breaking things with it.
Oh, look, a hammer.
It's broken.
It broke it.
Okay, but you can fix it, can't you?
Yeah.
Alright, then we'll just need to figure out how to fix it.
I suppose. Hey. Anyway, we have the anvil, so we can definitely make the station now.
Crafting bench. Can I...
Yeah.
Can I
Not
still
the crafting
make
bench, the repair bench.
No, but can I still use the crafting bench to make, like, a storage
No,
cart?
it's nighttime.
Oh. So now we just, what, go to sleep?
Sleeping doesn't fast forward the time.
What?
It does a little bit.
Absolutely Siberian.
I did pick up a cooking pot, and like 4 frying pans. So that's pretty great.
Okay.
Let's see, this is like the only thing that will allow me to cook right now, which is fantastic. I love that. But also maybe irradiated. That's okay. Let's see.
There, put the pressure gauge in there, and the actually no, stapler goes in the office supplies, doesn't it? And then office supplies, we'll put the desk phone, stapler.
So we need to make the repair and salvage station so that we can salvage stuff in the future.
Yeah, but the power's off.
It's usually good to grab furniture sometimes.
Unless you have a battery. Oh, cool.
No, this thing will stay active at night, which is pretty good.
Nice. Oh, hey, the lights are on.
I'm going to. Yep. It is daytime.
All right,
Get to work. It's time to get to work, scientists.
Nighttime! Daytime!
Nighttime. Alright, sorry, I'm just gonna grab this stuff here.
Nighttime! Daytime!
And I'm going to make another... Where is... base defenses... Here we go. Furniture. Heaters, makeshift beds. Great, here we go.
Okay. I am going to go... do some silly things.
Alright,
Attention. This sector is under
6.
precautionary security measures. Please remain in place and wait for security assistance.
There we go. Alright, and then I'll put table leg and a hammer. And then this one will be weapons. That way I can put a knife in here for safekeeping. And then this one here.
Oh, they're getting... Oh, it's getting messy again.
What do you mean it's getting... Can you move out of the way, please?
Yeah. Yeah.
See
Don't
what
worry. This is normal.
I play Diablo, I get cock blocked. I play Abiotic Factor, I get cock blocked. Every
What are you getting cock blocked by?
I'm trying to put another storage chest right there, so it's like uniform and such, and you're right in front of me.
Okay, then.
Oh, because the
ask
desk
me in the
lamp is
fucking
there.
Then get rid of it.
Okay, I didn't know it was there because you were in the way.
Stressing. Damn.
All right, just let me.
Why are you stressing?
Because I need to be entertaining for chat.
Why are you
There we go.
stressing? God damn.
This is very pot calling the kettle black coming from you. I heard stresses from you in the past. All right, this will be where the chef hat goes, and the medical stuff, and this we will call health. There we go.
Health? Health?
Health?
Like, we don't have a first aid kit you can throw all your healing stuff in?
Well, this one
like,
also
there
holds...
aren't enough first aid kits to just dump stuff in? Oh, you taking on the robot. I see.
Oh yeah, I need to put the desk lamp back.
Actually...
There we go. All right.
No, hold on.
Something else I can make while I'm here.
Up here. Up here. Up here. Attack me. Come on. Get my ass.
Oh,
Come on.
armor
Get my ass.
stands. Nice.
Oh,
Alright.
fuck.
Makeshift bed using...
Get my ass.
You trying to...
Yes! He is stuck! There you go. Have fun.
Each cow's cloth fiber and tool bench.
No. Okay, the furthest reach item you can use is, yeah, that. Have fun. Whee!
Alright, so we got a heater now. And then a sign using glue, wood, and some pens. Nice. Ooh, a walkie-talkie.
That's in case we're using in-game voice chat.
Ah, okay. Which, you know, who the fuck would do that?
We're not,
like, I appreciate video games, like, pretending Discord isn't gonna be a thing, but, you know...
Nah, it's really when you just hear my character just yelling across the way.
Alright, a lever. Nice. And then a plug strip. Ooh, the plug strip will actually be kind of useful, because then that way we'll be able to plug a battery in, won't we?
Yep. I mean, you can plug a battery and then, you know,
Energy
but in case you
brick,
want to split that
coil.
power.
And then we got different base defenses.
Hey, do you have a knife or anything like that? I need something sharp.
Check the weapons, couch. Not couch, the weapons storage. There we go. Makeshift spear. Slurpee bomb, plastic shield, the Piquet club, blue, wood, and a phone.
Thank you. Now I can carve up that robot for things.
Hey, very good.
Heavy club, arm with chi from a life form. Alright. And then a carbuncle balloon, a floating flesh balloon that reduces pack weight.
I won't let me carve him inside the thing.
No, it will still work. It'll still work.
Huh.
Really, it's not letting me get to him.
Okay.
IS-178, the Peccary, as it was so ineptly dubbed by one of my puerile co-workers, is more intelligent than it first seemed. In fact, it grows smarter and more capable over the course of its life cycle, before morphing into the later life cycle phase. Dr. Mamanko even managed to teach it a few simple tricks, with only minor burns, I believe.
No, it is working. And it's broken. Good job.
Fishing rod.
Well, you're the one that threw it in there.
Yeah? It works! Because I've killed the robot a few times in the fountain. I have a knife. Oh, I am carrying a bunch of random junk right now. Bullets. Oh, knife. Let me see if I can go get your silly thing.
Bullets go in here. Bucket, I'm gonna put in health. Alright. Yum. So wait. What are you doing?
Oh, did it click through the fucking wall? That's stupid.
We're trying to, get some components from the robot.
Oh. Wait, when did you fight a robot?
Just then.
Just now? Oh, my god. Did it actually clip through the fucking wall?
It did.
That's really unfortunate, damn. I'm so sorry. Oh.
Because we need the robot to make a, we need the robot parts to make a hacking device later on.
Yeah. And doing this early is pretty good.
So there was one trick I learned to deal with the robots, which was to set up a rotating blade, which I've got here, between the fountain and the wall, and have the robot run into that and continually run him around to get into it. Because you can actually activate the robots during the day by destroying their charges.
Yep. I'm unfortunately a little too, like, it's like I can't wait or something, and I just can't be bothered to do that. Okay,
Noted.
I'm gonna make the... I am going to make... Oh, wait. You got the computational brick. Oh, you got the security boss CPU.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna make the repair and salvage station so we can repair our stuff. Not lose our minds trying to be like, damn.
Do we want to place it near the workbench?
Yep. Did you take all the...
I was putting it back now, because I needed a splint.
Okay.
There we go.
Don't worry, I wasn't gonna be a greedy bitch.
I was just gonna say, like, we can just split instead of just grab it. I know it's a little
Yeah,
slower.
I forgot to do that.
I got a filing cabinet.
Yay!
I got a jar of dirt.
I got a jar of dirt.
I got a jar of dirt.
We have the repair and salvage station, so where do you want me to put it?
I normally place it like between here or something like that, or somewhere near here.
Okay, like this.
Yeah.
We do need to get a battery. We'll get a couple batteries, I think.
I need to take a shit.
I need to take a shit as well.
Do we all need to take a shit while there's an advertisement going on for the next couple seconds?
No.
I mean, in game.
Oh, okay.
What do you think I was referring to?
I thought you were meaning that you actually did need to go to the bathroom, and you didn't want to, be leaving me alone. We could have
No, I was just alerting you to the fact that I gotta take a shit in one of the toilets here.
We could have all gone to the bathroom if we needed to.
I had to drop a dookie, put the kids at the pool, sit somewhere else.
You have to hold my hand when I go to the bathroom, like down.
Exactly. I mean, how else am I meant to go? It's scary over there. Have you ever been to the bathroom?
I feel like in a place like this, where you just hear alarm bells going off, yes, this is not the place to go to the bathroom for. Ooh, giggle goo? Nope.
Plug strip. Okay, so...
Oh, why is the cooking station not cooking anymore? The industrial stove's not working.
It should. What do you mean it's not working? Take the frying pan off and put it back on again. Sometimes it's just an audio glitch.
No, won't let me even take it on and off.
Oh.
Huh? That's not normal, man.
I can feel my blood sugar falling.
Like, is it letting you do it?
Might need to get something
I haven't
to
tried.
eat shortly. Yum.
Can you come over to the thing and give it a try? Because, for some reason, I can't do it.
Might be a multiplayer thing. Hold on. Because I've known that this happens sometimes. Hold on. Oh wow. Oh no, it's cooked. Okay, here you go.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here you go. Gotta stand further back, I think.
That was weird. Like, it wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have to make I think we'll have to make the cooking equipment soon.
Furniture.
Yep.
Wait, did it not?
I can
yeah,
do
it
that if
changed
you
to
want me to.
furniture. Nice.
Yeah, and then maybe place it here in the kitchen. We can put a fridge near it too.
Gotcha. You wanna go grab the fridge from upstairs or not yet?
Whereabouts is it upstairs?
It's in the kitchen area upstairs. Next to the locker room.
Oh yeah, it might be worth grabbing.
Yeah. I'm gonna make some batteries as well, by the way.
The
How many
makeshift
batteries
ones?
Yeah, the makeshift
I think we
batteries.
need
How
at
many-
least 3 of them.
3.
We're also gonna need. I think we need at least 1 for the. No, we don't. Oh no, sorry. I was thinking of something else. No.
I'm making 7 then.
We have
enough to
lot
make
of
7.
furniture now.
Yeah, we have a repair and salvage station. Salvage something.
Oh, nice.
I'm surprised you didn't do it.
Insufficient materials to repair. Oh, because I need things.
Yeah,
for
you
it.
have to be holding on to it, which is really annoying. But, it is a thing that we have to deal with. The quicker we go up to level 3, we don't have to deal with that anymore. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
All right. Actually, hang on a second. I do. Guess what's inside it? What's inside what? Not Artemis. Also, I need to eat something shortly. Hang on.
Oh, you're doing makeshift batteries.
Yeah, we're gonna have. Well, I mean, that's the only thing I can make right now.
Let's go.
Sorry, I thought you were referring to the battery cubes.
The jar of dirt from ages back, darling. Ah, okay. All right.
Battery cubes.
I'm gonna consume this, and then I need to go to the bathroom for a quick second. I'm so sorry. I know there was an advertisement going off, but I need to go piss.
Okay, I've also made another makeshift 3 makeshift batteries, and this is for the kitchen area.
Good.
I
think I can also craft.
I need to make a plug strip as well, so you can put multiple things. plug strip. Okay, I got a plug strip and the batteries, so we just need to plug them in to charge. Where do you want me to put it?
Hang on 1 second.
Gotcha.
So I normally place the like over here,
Okay.
and then we can place like the fridge or the other cooking thing next to it.
Okay.
Like for when we start getting fish and soups and stuff.
Yeah, I can get fish really quickly because I have a mod that lets me just auto fish really quickly. Not gonna lie, the fishing minigame in this makes me want to pull my hair out.
Fishing games suck.
At least you know.
Hang on. Alright, there we go. I'm back. All fishing mini games also who's oh of course Artemis stole my shirt. All fishing games suck.
But anyway, I put the batteries down and the power socket, so in case you guys need to move this around in the kitchen, go ahead. I'll put it down for now. I have like a grid builder thing installed, so everything looks really nice for some reason. I have an extra energy brick, so we can definitely open doors. And here's the makeshift bolt that somehow I picked up. I don't know where. I think it was from your robot. I was trying to do something. And I was a fool.
Oh, okay, so it only took one. Alright, and then...
Yep.
No impact on movement. Alright, so...
Right, so...
Oh, wow, there's a lot of batteries. Okay.
Oh, 3 is a lot?
I thought it was. You take that back. I love fishing. Look, you might enjoy fishing, but I'm gonna be frank with you. The fishing mini games are just stupid. Okay, we don't need them.
The fishing mini game in this is stupid.
Also, why can't I get to inventory? Oh, time. I can press T for time.
Yeah, press C for time.
And then I can press
tab
Y.
for inventory.
And then all right. Where can I go for like all my pinned things? Because I don't want to unpin everything. I just want to unpin some stuff.
Then go to the item that you're trying to unpin and unpin it. It's the only way to do it.
Makeshift bed and the actually, I'm gonna make that bed. Hang on, we got the furniture for it. So I need the two.
Yeah, we can get rid of these and make a couple of beds, or we can make the beds out there. I'm not sure.
Whatever you want. Oh wow, you are actually going to make use of this entire place. Damn.
And then
I made my entire base like around here before.
Like normally, what I do is I normally put barricades here, couple of shock traps here. Couple of shock traps here, even leave these doors closed. I put bedding over here and use cubicle walls to surround that. I put the toilet over here and again use cubicle walls. Down here near the kitchen entrance, I put the planters and stuff like that.
There we go. Hey, my construction went up a level as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
Alrighty. Keep bandages on me. Do we have more magazines?
No. Magazines are more common upstairs, not here.
Alrighty then. So, how do we get upstairs?
Come with me.
Alrighty.
And you'll see.
You do love the Minecraft fishing in particular, personally? Nah, me personally, I loved like the trapdoor.
Anyone else?
Pressure. I like the trapdoor pressure plate thing. Oh my god, Jack.
That won't stop me. I'm going through.
Alright, but like we could still like, you know, look at things and explore.
Explore? What do you take us for?
Alright, so okay.
I'm gonna min-max this run, bro. Come
where
on.
the fuck are we now? Oh hey, a desk lamp.
This is actually one of the better, like, starting bases. If you ever wanted a starting base area that is actually secure.
Oh, hey, a map. Hang on. There we go. Oh, okay, so the energy brink was to... Sorry.
Wow.
Look,
Damn.
you're fine, okay? You're fine.
Damn, okay. Beating the shit out of me? Like, oh.
There we go.
Code, he's hitting me.
No,
awful.
You're fine, okay?
I mean, he stabbed me earlier.
Don't make a big deal out of it. You're fine.
Soldiers came through. They locked down manufacturing. Wanted information about the silos.
The silos.
On level 3.
On level 3.
They weren't
You just
gatekeepers.
know this. You just know all this, don't you?
Yes,
I
I
couldn't
do.
tell them anything. But
How often have you played this?
we can use the forklift to open the door. Get out of here through the surface tunnel.
I don't know. I have like 585 hours in this game.
Ooh, hydrochloric acid.
Thank you. I mean it. Just
okay, Jack.
need a moment. I'll be good, yeah?
Okay, so we're...
TV. Yeah.
Alright, so...
Going up.
Okay. Oh, what?
Going down. Going up.
Who's doing that? Oh, is it... Oh, what? Okay, I think I know who's doing this.
I wasn't doing anything.
I was ready
illegal.
to start swinging. I was ready to start swinging. Oh.
It's just so funny to see your confusion, being like, what the fuck? What's happening? Why does it keep going down? Huh?
Can I break these? No, I can't
There's
break that.
something.
Alright, so we're now up on level 2?
Level 3. This is level 3.
But there's a big 2 on the side. Like
No, this is silo number 2.
Oh.
Where did you go, Jack? Did you go in the portal or?
Not yet. I haven't gone in.
Ooh, iodine.
Jump on in.
What?
Jump on in.
Should I?
Jump in.
Oh,
Jump
okay,
in!
okay, we're going in. We're going
Woo!
in. Ow!
Hello.
Where the fuck are we?
We're in the far garden.
The what now?
The far garden. Wait, hold on. I have a charge attack. Hold on. Well, if I can sneak up to him before. You dead? Okay, hold on. Okay, that's the most important thing we need here. XR hearts. We need 2.
Oh, okay. So we just need to find another one of these guys?
Yep, we gotta kill him.
Oh, right. This guy's got the giggle counter.
The giggle counter?
Are you talking about the Geiger counter?
No,
Yeah, that's what I said.
sure
The giggle counter.
Oh, you're doing that thing
Geiger
again.
counter.
It's ignore him. He does this with he doesn't know how to say math.
Of course I know how to say math. God, what do you think I am, a meth head?
Do you want me to answer that? Sneak attack!
Okay.
I don't think sneak attacks work unless, you know.
Got him.
Well, I mean, he killed it, so... Oh well. I have a knife. Don't worry.
Also, why...
Yes,
mouth,
okay, we got it. We got
What's
it.
that you?
Some of your
What's
equipment
that
is
you have there?
calibrated
A
to this
knife.
new portal world.
Basically, it means you can't use jetpacks.
Oh.
So if somehow you manage to make a jetpack here and
Dr.
you
Derek
want
Matt
to
reporting.
jetpack around,
Research
you can't.
Director, Gate Cascade Research.
Also, there's a funny collectible.
Antiverse 2
I
is
got
an
it.
enigma. A world made of worlds.
Why are you drinking the
Each of
nasty
them
water?
different, yet
No, I was washing myself.
similar life.
Oh, well, true.
We know a few
You
certain
wa-
facts.
Yeah, you can watch
That
yourself.
energy moves
Jump this
more
ledge
slowly
because my
than
friend has
may
died to this
growth,
one exact
evolution,
ledge, which is the
change,
funniest
or
thing ever.
We know too that materials transplanted from antiverse B to
He's still angry about it, by the way.
biochemistry occurs much more rapidly.
Ooh.
But how did these creatures
Where are we now?
the presence of life
Oh, I can now, like, absorb...
confound everything we know about evolution? Was an external force involved? Only further study can tell us.
Yep.
Yeah, for some reason that little thing was going round and round and round and round in circles.
Yeah, that sometimes happens, and it's really funny when it does. Yeah, you taking it, or because I have a place that I can put it.
I got a place I can put it too.
Wait, can we
No.
climb up here?
You want to get up there?
Oh,
Yeah, you can.
okay.
No, hang on.
Nice. Alright, thank you for the oil. And then we have vents
There
we
we
can
go.
go through.
There is a check-in counter here.
Hang on.
Check-in terminal.
I'm just crawling right now.
Oh, you an event boy?
Ooh, Grand Vented. He's sussy. He's sussy among us.
Ah! Ow. Well, that was uncalled for.
What are you trying to do?
There must be water here somewhere.
Well, ironically, there is a water cooler right here. Oh, look at that. Coinky dink.
Nice. I'm gonna try and package this two-seater. Nice. And this box.
How many sofas do you need, sir?
Yes. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just hit this one. Oh, actually, I need to lie down real quick.
Oh, you need to do the honk shoe? Honk shoe? Snark me.
Honk shoe. Me 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 me. Honk shoe. Me 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 me. There we go.
Oh shit, we got potatoes. I found a potato. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
We can grow potatoes.
It's
Cool.
not my
I
fault. I work on
am
power
over-encumbered.
cells, not portals. They take them into Silo 3, and I never see them
I'll
again.
never see them again.
Have a wonderful and productive evening.
Silo 3 viewing. Apparently there's some... Oh, hello. What's your name?
My name's Amanda.
I'm pissing off a robot, by the way.
This is worse than last time.
There's reinforced hose. Oh, look, a knife.
Come with me. You'll be...
Made of seed.
In a world of the fuck, we're gonna die now.
Ow.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Does anybody have inventory space, by the way?
No.
Oh,
I just tried to
shame.
pick up
I just killed
books.
a robot.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Ah, stop!
Blue keypads.
I'm also holding on to like a ton of food for some reason.
I could do with some food. Oh, excuse me.
Well, it needs
Whereabouts
to be
are you,
cooked,
Jack?
That's the problem. Next to the... Yeah, this
I'm
is one robot we can just cheese. We need the computational brick the CPU anyway.
Oh, hang on, I got an idea.
What? Oh yeah, drink some soda. It's soda time.
Hang on. Where are you? How did you guys get in?
Got it.
Get in where?
Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing. All good.
Gonna give him some food.
I can't. I
You
don't
got
have
coffee?
any-
I ain't got no coffee. Level 3 map if you guys haven't gotten that yet.
No, I got it.
So I was pumping iron.
Alright, we should probably make our way.
Oh.
Well, give me a minute.
Damn security door.
Oh yeah, you should talk to her first.
Hey, look, a supply room with an
Oh,
anvil.
look, a supply room. Yeah, this is where you're supposed to get anvils.
Ah. Hello, Wild Saber. Breaking news: New fusion energy is 5 years off. Right now, a company is turning our lab to a fusion. Nice.
But I'm not leaving without my data. I could lose everything. I'd never get a Nobel Prize. Then I had an idea. I worked on the security bots. Their CPUs store access codes. If we salvaged some, we could make something
All
to hack the door.
preparations
What do you
will
think?
be resetting in 3,
Yeah, what do you think?
2, 1.
Reset complete.
Alright, my blunt is up to level 4 now. Where is over here?
Well, he's pretty much going down anyway, so we'll meet him down there.
Oh, cool, there's a down. Oh, okay. And then...
Yeah, this lift, if you tried to access this lift before, it would have told you you couldn't access this lift. I'm overcoming shit, man. I'm carrying 2.
Yeah, I've got a lot of crap. I need to get some iodine pills, because
Oh, I have
I
some
got a
iodine
whole...
pills.
Well, first things first, I need to make room for the iodine pills, because I got a whole butt ton of crap.
Alright,
Gotcha.
I'm downstairs, I think. Where is the elevator? That was...
Yeah, call the elevator. Then you can get back down.
Hang on.
Unless you're downstairs after unlocking a door.
I am downstairs after unlocking a door. Sam Neill, the actor. Yeah, I know about Sam Neill. I mentioned about it at the start of the stream, Wild Saber. You need to keep up with the times.
Yeah, Wild Saber, God, keep up.
Ooh, a lead vest.
Best be good.
Although nothing's happening while I'm wearing the lead vest, so.
I'll make another computational brick, by the way, because
Yeah, we need 3. We need at least just 1.
I've already made 1 for the thingo.
Okay. Let's see. We have enough to... I think we have enough stuff to make all the stuff we need anyway. I need 1 energy brick. I need to make the stuff for an energy brick. We also have a funny little figurine I'm gonna put over here.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Forklifts replica. We're now forklift certified. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right?
Damn, Wild Saber has a lot of news. First the fusion reaction, then Sam Neill. What's this latest one? Close encounter with an animal you've never seen before.
Yo.
So
A
I need to
large
make a
rodent.
controller.
Scared you as you thought it was gonna bite you, but then it ran off after checking the Kansas Mammal Online. Found out it was just a woodchuck, as it looked like a smaller groundhog with a squirrel-like tail. Ah, okay. Alright,
Oh, I need crafting level 2. Oh, you're kidding me.
Actually,
That's annoying.
Hang on, let me see.
Does anybody have crafting level 2?
Maybe? Hang on a second.
If you press K, you can get to your skills.
Give me a second. Now there's a bed for each of us.
Yay!
Alright, K. My construction
Under survival,
is
the first
4.
Not construction, crafting.
Nah.
Crafting level 2.
Nah, sorry. No can do.
Anyone else?
I'm working on it. Why? What do we need?
Do you have crafting level 2?
Let me have a look. Combat, survival. My crafting is level 4.
Your crafting is level 4. Okay, could you
How is your crafting
take
so
the
high? Damn.
raw exo hearts and the energy brick, crafting bench upgrades, and item transporter. We can worry about everything else after that.
Item transporter. Yep, done.
Okay, now we don't have to grab things from the the back anymore. We can just dump things and just craft things immediately. Ain't that fun?
Thank goodness.
Duct tape and magazines.
Duct tape.
Yeah.
I have made, I have a fridge, so we can put the fridge down. So we can keep some food cold.
I need a book. There we go. Alright.
How do you view all your pinned ones that you've got?
You can't. That's the annoying thing.
Okay, fridge is up. You can put all the food items in there.
Alright, so I only need one more for the LCD screen.
Okay.
We have a lot of metal scrap. What can we use metal scrap for?
If you're complaining that we don't have enough if we have too much metal scrap now, we're gonna have no metal scrap later.
Okay. Let me see if we can... We got a large filing cabinet, so maybe we can use that to...
You can make armor with that.
Oh wait, that's a filing
You can repair your stuff with the metal scrap, which the repair salvage station now also just transports it into your inventory. Speaking of which, I will make a crate for non-perishable stuff, so in case you guys get any snacks and sodas, you don't have to... We can move things around if we have to.
We have a lot of desk
Do we need
legs.
a second fridge?
Don't know.
I also have a bunch of TVs. I have 2 TVs on me right now.
In locally news, local young pal trainer found dead, suspected of the 5. Lavanders in his base, more at 11. What, Saber? I look away for like 5 minutes and Wild Saber's taken over the chat with craziness.
Of course he has.
Alright, this raw carbuncle, I can probably put you in here. Oh, the Bikini Club I can now make, so this, some tape, and a desk phone.
I need to lie down here. I need to hunch you a little bit.
Where's a desk phone? What happened? We had desk phones up the wazoo, I swear.
Okay, we probably need to get more desk phones then, if you're having trouble finding them.
But like, what were they used in? Because I swear I grabbed like 2 or 3 at one point.
I'll go grab some. I'm hungry.
Found
but
one of
that's
them.
okay.
There's like 7 of them in this random cupboard here, which makes no sense. I'm gonna...
Well, I mean, the chest was probably full. That's probably what happened.
Alright.
Also, we now have a heater on the workbench.
Nice.
Did you get the dioxo healer as well? Or
No.
do we not have enough?
So I need
weapons.
More antiverse wheat.
Okay. Did you check the other crate? In the kitchen? If we have any more of that?
Okay, so I got 6 of those. Let me go have a look. Okay, so I got plenty of the antivirus wheat, so I need 10 bio scrap and a med kit.
We grab one of the mess kits off the wall, whichever one is empty. That's why I've been grabbing some med kits. Bio scrap is in the scrap crate, unless it's not there. Then I will.
I only need 3 more scrap, bio scrap.
Scrap any meat item, I guess, if you need extra.
Oh, I need to eat. Hang on. Bonk. Rotten food. Damn it. I'm gonna go for the.
You can cook something on the from the fridge.
Do we need a second fridge, by the way?
Probably not. Wow. Okay, more batteries over there.
Because I can grab more stuff if you guys need it.
Boom. Now everyone will slowly get some healing.
Very
the Dioxo healer. Ah.
Yep.
Which increases when we've got farms nearby too.
How long does it take for meat to cook?
A few minutes, give or take.
So less than 40 seconds?
I'd say, yeah.
I might die of starvation.
Hey, hang on. Let me help you with something.
There we go.
Yeah, 45 seconds to cook most things.
Donuts! Nice, thank you, Code.
I grabbed the second fridge upstairs.
I am still so hungry.
In case we need it, I guess. I'll put it in the kitchen, but we don't have to use it.
Yeah. I'll make the kitchen crafting stuff too.
Okay. I wanted to grab some other stuff, but I think I have some food items. You can just...
darn it. I need coils.
Coils? We have coils.
No, I've only got 1. I need 2.
Okay. I need to grab coils then. I'll put the fridge in the crate in the kitchen. I did also pick up canned peas. We have to plant the potatoes before anybody cooks with them, by the way.
Okay.
Potatoes are a little annoying to come by early. Rotten food, we can definitely scrap this to get more bio scrap. Carbuncle is always nice in here.
I'm gonna eat the ice cream that's in the that's in here.
Yeah, that's fine.
There we go. Now I'm not as starving, but I am a little. Also, why is this potted plant here? It's in the way of. Let's put you like here, and then I can grab you, and then move you like here.
Where are we putting peccary skulls, by the way?
Putting what? Put them in the so over in the kitchen here.
Kitchen?
Up there.
Okay. We can definitely cook down peccary skulls to make glue in the future if we need it. Probably not now, but you get it. I'm also moving the salt into the kitchen.
Okay.
There you go. So it's in non-perishables. I also put the refrigerator in there in case you guys need to.
I've got the cooking station up and going too for the food prepping when we're able to do that.
Gotcha.
I can feel my blood sugar fall.
We need an energy brick and 2 raw exile hearts for item transporter for that too.
Yep. Third floor will definitely be the best place to do that, but I want to get more computer supplies from the data farm. So I'm gonna do that with the vacuum cleaner. The vacuum. You probably hear it go off.
Yep. Cool. Alright, all that's done. Alrighty.
Yeah, just need...
So, where to next?
I'm just setting up the kitchen so we can start cooking a bit more easily.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, we are going to need it later to purify water to keep refilling those containers too.
I did bring in 3 of the water coolers, so we are set for water for now, but in the future, I guess probably not.
Well, because we'll need, if we want to start a farm, we're going to need a lot of water.
Yep.
I think there was a room over here with some computers last time. Nope, they're all destroyed.
Now, data farm always has a bunch of computers. I usually come here with a vacuum cleaner, just vacuum everything. It's pretty good.
So I guess Jack likes to suck things up.
I'm going to hit you, bro.
Yeah.
I hate both of you.
Well, you asked.
I'm here to help you guys, and then you guys are like this. God damn it.
Well, to be fair, this is probably the one time I'm going to be playing Abiotic Factor on stream, and that's it.
Awful, making me upset.
It's just how it
You
is.
really have sucked everything up from here, haven't you?
Did you see it?
You can clean. I want this game so bad, but I have no money. It'd be nice if some generous would gift it to me. Wild Saber, I am pinching pennies while not eating anything for the next couple of months. All of us here are broke and desperate. As much as I am doing, as much as I'm doing this whole, like, you know, streaming for the fun of it and shit like that. Ah, damn it, scraps.
I mean, I just took my sister over to Melbourne for a weekend trip, and now I'm broke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. What? Just bring it back. And then, thank you for the gaseous thingy-madook. So I'll keep you on hand.
Don't you dare!
Okay.
Gunk. Alright.
I saw that look in your eyes, Jack. You were.
What were they gonna do?
None.
They were gonna launch the little fucking pest thing at me that they sucked up in the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, the vacuum cleaner can do that?
Like a spud gun!
You suck them up and then throw them out.
It's a lot of damage to throw away. Problem is, you know, just needing to grab that little fucker.
Alrighty.
Slushles. Oh god, my brain is frozen! Ah! I mean, I didn't have much brain to begin with, but still.
Jump. Hey, a hammer.
Alright. Is that a free hammer?
Maybe. I'm just going through here right now. What's that beeping noise?
I'm charging.
You watch.
Oh.
I was also charging something, so probably it was also
I
that.
found a second hammer. Hey, a hard hat. And another flashlight.
God.
I'm ravenous.
I'm ravenous.
Well, hi, Ravenous. I'm Dad.
Everybody hated Dad.
Yeah, it's okay. I deserve it.
Giga glue. But yeah. Thank you for recommending this game to me, Jack. All the same. I wasn't too sure what I was gonna play.
70 hours into this.
And I am going to commit. I think this is probably like this stream alone is gonna have me have played like maybe 10 hours of this, and or maybe 7 hours in total, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm satisfied. I've seen all I need. So.
No, you haven't.
I've seen it. I've seen enough of this open world survivor crafter.
You suck.
Wow, the abuse you're getting out of that.
Cubicle shelf, nice. Oh, we can't grab the... Okay. There we go, got another filing cabinet. But now
Okay,
it
well,
is really heavy.
we have a lot of stuff. Oh boy, that is a lot of stuff. You guys gonna make any shields, by the way?
Give me
Later on when I get the heat shield.
Gotcha.
I just need to... Now I just need to carry all this back out.
Should probably make something for dinner soon. I haven't had that yet.
Probably need to think about that, considering it's like 8 p.m. my time, which must be like 8 for you.
8 p.m. my time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in daylight savings mode.
Savings mode. I need a fishing rod. I got a fishing rod.
I got a car.
Alrighty.
I've got a big bag of crabs here.
Wee.
I'm gonna put them in my mouth. Oh yes. Gonna run around and pound at a bucket day. Everyone look at me and say I got a mouth full of crabs.
Alright, furniture.
Oh, look at you, armored up and everything, while I'm still wearing an apron and a stupid hat.
Well, we got resources, don't we? I put some lab gloves over into the weapons section if you want.
By the way, Grant, there is actually a benefit to wearing the full set of certain armors.
I figured.
You can read the description.
Reading the card explains the card.
Maybe, if he actually reads.
Yeah, you can't guarantee me to do that, I'm sorry to say. Which is
I see you down there, cat.
Which is absolutely hilarious because it's like, if I wasn't going to be playing this, the other games I was thinking of playing were, hang on a second, I have a text file for this. I had a note,
I have a text file.
I was thinking of these, so some of the stuff that popped up in my head of like, oh, maybe I should play this on Monday if I don't know what I want to play was Backpack Hero, Celeste, Disco Elysium, The Talos Principle, and that's as far as I got.
Oh no, not The Talos.
What about the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV?
That's Friday night. I'm not going to be doing that more than once. If I'm going to be playing a game like more than once in a week, it will be when it's like an RPG that I need to do some proper time into, like the Final Fantasy.
Because you were normally doing that on the Mondays.
I honestly was, but the thing is like it would either be the Mondays or the Wednesdays. There would be like patch times going off and such. So I've opted to doing it Friday nights usually. And I think Friday night works fine, honestly. Like, because I'm on like, you know, the Crystal server, which is like US and such, if I was in the, if I was streaming in like the morning or something like that, then maybe that would have been like better for streaming the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. But, you know, we live in Australia. We don't get the luxury of presenting ourselves at the best of times to the Americans.
By the way, I cooked a little food in the fridge.
Ooh.
I'm experiencing an insufficiency of food.
Please cook the fish. Holy shit, I have so much fish.
I should probably
That's me going
locate a
fishing,
rest
and then
room.
filling up my inventory of fish, and then coming back with nothing but fish.
Let's go gambling. You know what that means. Fish.
Ah, so this is where you go for fish and food prepping. Okay. All right. So
I'll make another cooktop a little later on that we can utilize for soup.
Right. Okay, so we've like set ourselves up a little bit, I feel. Also, do I still need to worry about a leg injury? Hang on. Oh, I gotta deal with a radiation tingle.
Hungry?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, what the?
What? Oh, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about him.
Don't worry about that. It's not your concern tonight.
Okay. Think. Don't. There we go.
Yeah, don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
He
don't
says
worry
while
about it.
holding a spear out to me. But yeah,
I'm sorry,
let's
bro. I'm
see,
sorry. You
so-
got a problem with my spear? You got a problem with my spear that we poked each other with the last time we played Minecraft together?
Yeah, I got that as a what's-a-mahoozy clip as well. It's just like, ow, that pokes people.
Yeah, no shit, bitch.
Also, like, now it's here. Like,
Yeah, don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
okay, but why is there multiple? Like,
Don't worry about it.
okay, what are we doing?
Don't worry about it.
Nothing.
Okay,
Absolutely fuck all.
yeah, no, I'm in the middle of streaming. I can't be in a I can't be an open world survivor doing quote unquote nothing.
Well, then chat with your... Well, go kill a robot then. Find a robot, beat the shit out of it.
Okay.
It's fun, don't worry about it.
All right, let's go find a robot, chat. Where do we go for a robot?
Got a robot. A robot's over here.
Okay, hang on.
I'm cooking, I need to eat.
Oh wow, you're a ways. Oh wait, nope, wrong direction. Press it again. Okay, so there's a robot where? So how do we disturb this one?
So all you would need to do is destroy that thing, but before you do, I feel it might be a good idea to set up this trap blade over Nya.
Okay.
We can. Because then once we power it, done. It's too long.
Okay.
I don't have any tech scrap. Because I was going to say, because like, between these 2 points, he's not going to be able to get round, so... So like, we got to do it in a space where he's not going to get around to try and stop us. Ah, this might work.
There we go. Alright, so... Okay. And so I just hit him?
Yep, and then run over here. Hit it a few times.
Are you sure?
Yes. You doubt?
Just a little bit. There we go.
Yep, now run.
You realize there's that platform there, right? Can I hit him from here? Ow, that was uncalled for.
Get back over here, otherwise he will stun lock you. Duck down underneath the thing. Don't get...
Ah, okay.
Hang on, let me deactivate it. There we go.
Cool. Security, slam, scrap, robot oil, vit. Wait, why was he a vending machine?
I don't know, he was also a vending machine for some reason. Alright, let's take this all back to the base, because I need to make that last component.
Okay. On my way.
Dr. Mann's reporting. IS-178, the Peccary, as it was so ineptly dubbed by one of my puerile co-workers, is more intelligent than it first seemed. In fact, it grows smarter and more capable over the course of its life cycle, before morphing into the later life cycle phase. Dr. Manbanco even managed to teach it a few simple tricks, with only minor burns, I believe.
Ding. Dong. the hard hat can go in here.
Did you manage to get the CPU from it?
You got the mini jackpot again? Good for you, Artemis. When you get the big jackpot, the cackpot, let me know.
Grant, did you pick up the security bot CPU from it?
Yes, I did. Where do you want it? Let me just...
any of them. I just need it in there.
Okay. It doesn't go in there for whatever reason. Can't go in there.
Because it's full.
Put it in the
stacks
temp.
are full.
But yeah, the Talos Principle is a puzzle game, right?
It is.
I reckon I can do it.
We now have a hacking device.
Just the one. We don't need more. For now.
Okay. Although it's a little concerning that we still have all these like weird, like energy things.
It's alright. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Don't worry about them.
I really must use the restroom.
I don't need this shit. It's fine.
Go shit, girl.
Go piss, girl.
No. No. Oh, I love that the crate has literally just gone to hell. The sorting has literally gone to hell.
Well, that's because we don't have bigger storage yet, so, but, you know.
You know how it is.
Okay, so we crafted a keypad hacker. Technology, things we could power cells are
So that'll get us into certain locations. In fact, I'm gonna go get a gun.
Okay, I'm just cooking some meat. Hi there, Omega.
Do we have enough bullets?
Well, I've been saving some. I found some 9mm in random areas, so long as you don't, like, you know, take it too crazily, I think you'll be okay. Yeah.
What's that? Go crazy. Wah, 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 go crazy. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, normally there was a gun in this area.
Where are you?
Level 2, near that, hack door.
Is there an expiry to when you
second
cook
one?
the What's-a-Mahuzi meat?
It will run out, yes.
Does it last longer when it's in the fridge?
Although it
Yes, it
remains
lasts longer
essentially
in the fridge.
hostile,
That's
Alright.
what the fridge is
can
for.
be taught to
Cool.
respond to basic commands, as Dr.
I know
Monbango
what to do with this meat.
formatively, as its biosystems work much more swiftly here.
Don't cook all of it.
It learns.
I'm only cooking 3.
Rapidly. Many on the executive committee will want a weapon, I'm sure. Their imagination reaches no further. But if we can just breed the aggression out, the peccary would make an extraordinary work beast. Our world has enough toys of war.
Oh, normally the gun was in there, but I'm guessing it's not.
Check the security booth.
Oh, right, yeah.
Hey, my cooking
It's in
skill
the
went up.
security booth, not the
Nice.
other place that you're thinking about.
Which one? Survival. Here it is. Cooking is learned. Cooking 2 requires 500 XP. Cooking 3, you can cook soups by filling a pot with water and adding ingredients.
Yeah.
First tier of bench upgrades. What was that?
Bullets.
Don't worry about her. She's fine.
Probably.
No, she's fine. Smiley face.
No, there's no gun in the security booth.
Head up to the one more floor up.
I'm a real hungry boy.
There is another slot that you can hack open. Are you at Warren's place?
No, I'm...
Yeah, that's Warren's base. Up this way.
There we go. And now I can eat this. Alright. So... what do we do now?
This security office.
Hang on.
Oh, right, that one.
Probably need... do we have the upgrade now where you can just craft things at the crafting bench?
Yeah, we did that ages ago.
Oh.
You don't have to grab things anymore. Up here.
Cool.
Clicky!
Yep, then you can get all the bullets.
Warning. Biological incursion.
Oh, right.
And I
we
think I
need
can
to go
even
back to the
upgrade
base.
it too.
There's another backpack here we can grab, but I am gonna grab it, and we're gonna have to run back to base because our base is being attacked right now.
Wait, what?
Right? Meow.
What do I do?
Yep, our base is being attacked right now. A portal storm has started.
Ow. There we go.
And it's done.
Nice.
And it's done.
Robot oil.
I have knife.
And
How do we make the upgrade bench? Do we have the access to that yet?
Upgrade bench?
Keyboard, coils.
What do you mean upgrade bench?
The upgrade system.
But what about the upgrade system?
To upgrade weapons.
We can only get that in manufacturing.
Okay, so yeah, not yet.
Not yet, yep. Okay, I cut up all the dead peccaries, pests, sorry. And I put all the meat in the fridge.
Well, I now have a Glicky.
Also, this is for you, Code.
Hmm?
Security backpack.
Yay!
I don't need one. It's okay.
I will love it forever and ever.
Nice.
I don't like it anymore.
Alright, so... Super tomato seed? What?
Yeah, we can make a super tomato seed.
You mean a super tomato seed?
It's tomato. Actually,
Tomato.
now I realize, now I am it is tomato, not not tomato when I say it. Or tomato. It's tomato. Tomato. Ice cream beer. It's ice cream.
I was
requires...
pumping iron the other day.
Oh yeah, if you give him a coffee, he's more likely to drop an item for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so...
Where is he?
Cigarettes,
Somewhere. He's somewhere over there.
helmet, and chest.
Oh, there he is. Because this isn't actually a coworker. This is actually another being.
For the num-nums, pal.
Thanks for the num-num, pal. You get a very interesting piece of dialogue if you wear the larval suit and just hang around him a little bit, because at some point he will just tell you, take that off.
Yeah, because he's not actually a coworker. He's a one of those creatures.
Oh, the fucking robot's alive. Okay.
Want a hand?
Yeah, I don't have weapons for it. Or else I'm gonna trap it in the fountain again.
And we already have a keypad hacker, don't we?
Well, do you want one for every single one of us?
No, it's not necessary.
Wow. Look at this man refusing to share.
Well, no, the sharing part is that we have one and we go and it gets shared between the three of us. I don't get what you're trying to imply here.
How is it stuck like that? That was really weird. I'm gonna actually die if I continue.
I'm gonna run out of ammo trying to kill this thing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Now,
there we go. put all the sodas in the non-perishables.
Attention, this sector is under precautionary security measures.
There we are. All right. All I need is a frying pan, and we're good.
Well, there's
how
plenty
many
of
do you
frying
need?
pans.
What?
How many do you need? Have you checked the kitchen in non-perishables? It happens to be there.
Why isn't the... Okay, fine. Because why didn't the crafting bench be like, ah, yes, we need to check in there? There is one cooking pot.
Yeah?
Probably because it's a little bit too far away from the thingo.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
only one cooking
you guys
pot.
just made like a huge...
Cooking
You're
pot is
looking
not
for
a...
a frying pan, right?
Yeah, and there's a cooking pot in the perishables.
Wow, it's like there are 4 frying pans in non-perishables.
There were not 4 frying pans in the... Oh, there's
No,
a
they
frying...
were in there.
There's a...
I know they were in there because I
see
didn't
it
move
now.
them.
I see it now. Sorry.
I'm gonna hit you.
No,
Grant, do you feel silly?
not more than normal.
You trying to make yourself a makeshift helmet?
Yep. There we go. And then, bam. Everything I wear, makeshift leg wraps, makeshift chest plate, makeshift arm wraps, makeshift helmet. And I got an achievement for it. Fashion spec.
Perfect.
This item can eventually be upgraded at an enhancement things. Employee of the month. You often carry the weight of your team. Increase weight capacity by 30. Nice.
Jai,
Glad to see Blue is still here. Who is the food gatherer? Code.
No, it's definitely Jack.
Oh, okay. I guess Jack is gathering everything. All right, so where do we need to go with the keypad hacker thing? Because don't we have that now?
Yes, we do.
Need to open up the door upstairs on 3rd floor to get into Flat Hill.
Okay, so 3rd floor is this way?
Up the lift as well.
Coming.
I'm also gonna try to do something really, really stupid that nobody wants to do. But I am dumb, and I like making stupid decisions, I guess.
Ow, you threw him at me.
I didn't throw it. We don't need to
I
use
have
the
a glitchy-
gun on them. No need for licking and flicking.
Also, Grant, this way.
Hold on, rubber ball, desk phone. Paper scraps. Alright, heading back this way.
Where are we putting the farm, by the way?
I normally put it... Well, yeah, we can put it in the kitchen if you want to put it in the kitchen.
Okay. Because I want to start growing that potato for reasons.
Can we open this door?
The potato flew around
No,
my
we
room
cannot.
before you...
We can't open that door. And...
There is a way in.
Okay. We just need to pack that and put it here-ish.
Okay, you guys just continue. I will come find you in a little bit.
I knew this would happen. Ever since Varenkov took over Silo 3, you couldn't get a single power cell after that. Now look, they're precious antiverses, totally out of control.
Totally out of control.
Whatever it is they're doing in Silo 3, it used every power cell we had.
Hey, Blue, not the cactar. Jack knows that we never starve. Ow.
Yeah, we have way too much food.
Can I open the door from here?
No.
No.
Is there a way to open the door? No, it won't let me,
No.
like, ow.
It's electrified water, man.
Hey, Grant, that was shocking.
Yep. See? Jack can get a go. Jack can take a joke.
I think Grant was shocked by the results of what just happened.
Nah. Alright.
Shiver! Come on!
Who is being a
Shiver!
disruptor in my fucking chat? Hey, Blue, what do you think of next Monday I go through the Talos Principle? You ever played that puzzle game?
You have fun with that. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Am I gonna struggle? Oh, what the?
Shiver! Shiver!
Oh, hang on, trash. And then through here, and then, oh. Ow, did you? You shot Jack!
No, I shot that.
Continue. I'll be fine.
Alright.
Don't worry about me.
Okay, so we go into silo 3.
Uh-huh.
And then...
Yeah, keep going.
Ding, ding, ding. Sorry, I'm just picking up some wood and some glue. Hey, look, another hammer.
We don't need more hammers.
You never...
I know we have 3. We don't need more.
Never say never.
No, we don't need hammers.
Well, you go have fun thinking a lot. What, do you not like thinking, Blue?
Thinking is hard.
Scientist!
Do not reignite the rift. There are
abominations within.
Sounds important.
Crossed over to seal your folly. Is the cost of your knowledge not already
clear?
I think Jack is a little too invested in this game.
You never let me have fun.
What? I let you have plenty of fun. We go through Monster Hunter together, we go through Grounded together.
But you don't play this game with me.
I'm playing with you now, aren't I?
Well, will you be playing this game after?
Probably not.
Yeah, you see? I said no.
By the way, Grant, wearing that suit will make you thirsty quicker.
It's okay. He's already a very thirsty boy.
I got my 2 sodas. I'm good. I'm good.
It's already a thirsty
See, look
boy,
at that.
don't worry about
Artemis says, I'll let you have fun. All right, so do we go in here? Ow.
Do you think we should let Grant...
You may...
Do you think we should let Grant take the lead on most of this?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a flashlight there. There's a ladder here.
I don't need no damn flashlight. I know where to go.
Oh, it's like Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, Silent Hill.
Never played Silent Hill, so I don't know if that's actually in the games.
It is. It's in the 3rd one.
Oh.
When you get the secret ending. With the sexy beam.
Have you seen what's inside? Before you tried opening the door?
No.
Maybe you should
Look
have another look, yeah?
Grant, come here. Grant. Look through the door.
What in the fuck is that?
Don't worry about
That is a nope.
Okay, fine. I'll accept that it's a nope and we'll move on. Hey, look, a canned peas. Oh, I can't. My inventory is full.
I got him.
Filling up your inventory with junk.
No, Grant's a loot goblin.
Yeah. This is why you can't have me come along to open world survivor.
Hi, welcome to the ice cream shop. What would you like?
Can I have some ice cream?
Yeah, feel
No.
free to take it straight from the display. You know, stuff your goddamn gob with it.
Thank you.
Doors open.
There we go. All right.
Looking frying pan. Code.
Yes.
You have gun. Here you go.
I do have gun. Ah, my bullets.
Money. And a
Daddy?
stapler. Diabetes. Look, I'm doing really well, Blue. I don't have the diabetes. I don't have any allergies. I don't have any problems in eating whatever food I want, just so long as it tastes good, in my humble opinion. What the fuck is that?
Friend, don't attack him.
At last you are here.
Oh, okay. Well, he talks, so.
He's a
You
little.
want out? Of course you want out. Like them, the giants. You are trapped here. But shut down
Marion's
the devices.
great. I love
Your devices. Remove the power cells.
Power
1, 2,
cells, 1, 2,
3.
3.
You'll have your way out. But what then? When you've opened your door, what?
He plays life on. It's not playing life on easy. It's playing life on normal. Okay.
Have you
playing
looked
life
out the
on
window, by the
easy.
way?
Playing life on easy means there would be a healthy dose of nepotism in me, okay? Which is not the case. I don't get to have, you know, famous actors or actresses as my parents.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Grant, have you looked outside, by the way?
No.
Yeah,
he's seen it. Do you want the hazardous material suit? I can take one later.
I don't need it at the moment. You take.
Gotcha. Alright, we'll put it on.
Oh, and we'll need that for later too. Yeah. Oh, darn it! You broke it.
Yeah, don't worry. There's like 3 or 4 somewhere around here. We can definitely find one. Let me in. Let me in. Go on.
Go on, Grant. Go say hello.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm sleepy.
Sounds like a skill issue.
My inventory is full. Hang on a second. Drop you. Oh, he...
Grant, you might want to run.
All right, hang on. Can you kill him?
Nope.
Have fun.
Oh, okay. Can we go in?
Also, there's more than one.
Yep.
Money? Magazines? I feel like
shit,
the
I
vending
forgot
machine should be free.
Jack, what are you doing?
Something really fucking stupid. Don't follow me.
Okay, I'm just gonna...
There is something in this room that is pretty good that you can actually get. You cannot get one of the cosmetic items in here early. I have a pocket watch. A pocket watch you can get from manufacturing. Let's see if I can open the door. Yeah.
I wish I could go up the toy slide. What's up?
Alright. I have a very funny
You're the most
rug. I'm gonna
adventurous
show
person
you
I know
guys later.
so far compared to the others I know. You need better friends, Blue. You need better friends that will like try out all kinds of weird spicy foods. I tried Jack's weird chips things, like the duck ones. Those were absolutely delicious flavors. Can you get me more like other kinds of foods? Hi there, Code.
Hello.
Why did I know it was? I knew it was Code because he had a gun.
Just approaching with a gun.
Yep.
And somehow that's Code.
Yeah, I know how he functions. Oh, there's 2 of them.
More than that.
Yep, there's more.
Alright, well I dodged
You
them.
having fun?
A little bit. Although I feel like I could get lost at any moment.
Yeah, you're already lost. I know.
Oh, I can just go down here, can't I? Alright, I'm in the sewer. You smell disgusting. This might attract unwanted attention and spread diseases.
Stinky.
We got nerfed by the lactose intolerance. I flirt with this.
You wanna come up to where I am? By the playground? Just so you know where I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to where Code is.
Okay. Sometimes I wonder if I'm like the Ogren in Warhammer 40k, where I'm just too dumb to like understand like the horrors beyond my comprehension.
Maybe.
You're not safe in there. Keep running.
What do you mean I'm not safe in here?
Yeah? Have you looked behind you?
Oh, hey, Code.
Hi, Grant.
That was Code. Code was behind me. Yes, I'm stinky right now, but that's because I went into a sewer, not because I'm inherently stinky.
Alright, Grant. Go over there and grab the power cell.
Alrighty. My inventory is full.
In case you guys are wondering, the composer actually followed you guys in.
Okay, now I can pick up the power cell.
There should be a door around here, by the way.
I don't see one.
Which door?
The emergency door to get through back here if we need to, the shortcut door.
No, not there. Next area.
See, Jack knows everything. Unless I hear Jack like screaming at me, I think we're fine.
Oh, Grant, make sure you go through that white portal.
I already did.
Oh.
I'm right here.
Sorry, you're both wearing the hazmat suit, so it's hard to tell who's who.
I'm the one with the shield. Jack's the one with the vacuum. Jack likes cleaning.
No, I don't.
They say, holding a vacuum.
No, I don't.
He just likes to suck.
I'm going to hit you.
Did you see it?
You had one job, to pick up the MacGuffin. I picked it up! Look, it's right there, the power cell. It's just, you know, emitting a little bit of radiation, so don't think about it too hard.
Which is why I can't pick it up, because I don't have a radiation suit.
Well, you could pick it up, can't you?
Yeah, but the cost of being heavily irradiated.
I'm already heavily irradiated. I don't care.
Yeah, that's not too bad of a problem. Door won't budge. Okay.
Oh, do you want to see what I picked up?
Nachos.
Code, you want to see what I picked up?
Where are you?
Fungal bloom. Requires antifungal gelatin. Oh, that sounds weird.
Yay!
This is, I'm not even joking, it's only in that one fucking room. The
I
one
used to
where
have
the
one
composer's standing there. It's really annoying to get because it's like you have to basically make sure you don't die to the composer that's standing there. Nachos. Oh, pest trap. Oh. I can
Wait, why am I
get a
holding
potato
on
of
to-
my own.
Okay. And then grab the hammer.
Found the other one.
Open the side door.
Dr. Derek Mance reporting, research director.
88
ISO
demands you
64 seems to sing to itself,
Sippy time.
if you could call it that, emitting a series of resonant,
Did you see it?
suggestive of
Yeah.
Remember when arcade and movie stores had the neon carpets? They still do. You just need to find one that's open.
Just anyone.
There's a place in Fortitude Valley called it's like Neversoft or something like that, and that has like the neon black carpets, and there's like arcade games and such like that, like pinball and what have you. It's great. Well, that says employees only code. I don't think we can go up there. Hey, look.
Grant.
It's got the pipes. Yeah, what's up? I'll get to you shortly. Okay, fine. We're going into the employees only section.
Yes. Grab the MacGuffin.
Alright, I grabbed the
Jackie's
MacGuffin.
grabbed the MacGuffin.
Neverworld.
Grab the
Thank you,
MacGuffin.
Artemis. I knew I was getting the wrong name. Alrighty, so...
Oh, this area. Fuck me.
Did this place confuse you too?
The library?
Yeah.
Come this
yeah,
way. Jump up here.
Grant's already gone the other direction.
It's fine. He'll be fine.
Hopefully.
Jump over here. Walk across. Don't worry about that guy. He won't bother you. This drop.
So how much are we betting Grant's getting eaten?
Quite a lot, I think.
Nah.
Ow.
I just have a leg injury right now, so...
I
I'll
broke
just
my
be-
legs.
I have 3. I have 3 magazine stands.
Oh, you got them? Okay.
Yeah, I got 3. We can definitely get more, so we can just grind them down into like metal scrap if we need it.
Yeah. Can I pick up? No, I can't pick up the book. My inventory is full still.
Do you have any? I need a couple of splints.
I don't have splints.
Nah, I got none.
Can go fishing.
Got these trays. That's kind of cool.
I can go fishing.
Oh, you've already opened the door there. Okay, cool. And then that won't budge. That won't budge.
Oh, I really have too much in my inventory. Okay, that's okay. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back. Just head upstairs.
Okay.
I'm gonna unlock a shortcut. This is right next to the treehouse.
The what house?
The treehouse that we started in.
Laser tag was fun as a kid. Laser tag is still fun, Wild Saber, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Like there is, like things that were fun when you were like, you know, a teenager is still fun when you're an adult, just so long as you're playing it with other adults. If you're an adult playing with other teenagers, I don't know. It doesn't make for a good experience. That's a life lesson you can take with you in IRL or on the internet. Things are more fun within your age groups. You could go up in age group if you want, but then you're experimenting at that point there. Just don't ever go down in age groups. That can be very dangerous.
Yes.
Especially on YouTube.
Yes.
But yeah, laser tag's fun. So there's like, actually, this, I don't know if this happens over where you're at, Wild Saber, but there's a laser tag that goes off in Australia where instead of it doing inside, where there's like all the flashing lights and you got a vest and all that kind of nonsense, you can do a laser tag outside. So you're out in the wild and you're all wearing like camouflage gear and you only have the sensors on your head. And the idea is that like you're out in the bush. It's fantastic.
So for the time being, our presence is necessarily clandestine, if not a bit syrupy. The location was selected for the convergence of certain geomagnetics that amplify the power of our perforation equipment. We stand poised on the brink of an entirely new technology. I'm convinced of it.
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Who wants to play Russian roulette?
I don't want to play Russian roulette with a belt with a magazine, okay?
Oh yeah, this guy.
Oh, okay, he's threatening. Oh hey, there's a minifigure up here. Ow, I can't get to it because of my leg injury. Can you help me? I'm trying to get to the figurine.
You'll be fine.
I'm trying to get to the figurine up here, but my leg injury doesn't let me, like, you know.
You're not going to be able to get to it from there anyway.
That's called paintball? No. Paintball is when you play it with paintball. I'm talking actual laser tag outdoors, Wild Saber.
I don't have an inventory space for it.
How'd you get up there?
Got it?
With skill.
Yeah, well, I got a leg injury, so...
Well, I'm over encumbered. I don't know what's yours is.
Oh, hello.
Are you sure you want to get... You still want to be there?
He's dumb, alright? I was able to get up here, wasn't I?
Not until he grabs you.
No, he hasn't yet.
Right. No, I can't get up that way.
Don't worry. I'm gonna get the side door open. Side door open.
Okay. Did one of you pick up the figurine?
Yes, I got it.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
This is Dr. Derek Mance. I'm pleased to confirm the first Flat Hill perforation was a success, although the geomagnetic convergence was stronger than we anticipated. allowing it
Yeah, I'm just trying to find my way over to you guys.
IS-064, perhaps the largest we've yet logged in our immurement registry. Indeed, the events here in Flat Hill have advanced our understanding.
Because Grant has put him up there on the fucking platform. I can't get up there.
Just juke him. He's not that fast.
Closure of the township. But I am more confident than ever in Gates' ability to develop a functional portal
He is
network.
trying to get to me right now.
What we learn here will alter the history
He will be
of
stuck
our
here for a
species.
while. You can come over.
Maybe we can finally stop flying.
The side door is open.
Alright, I'm here.
Anyone else getting a bit...
No, at this point, if you're just going to hit him like this, I really hope he grabs you.
Okay. Fine.
Did you grab the MacGuffin?
Now I have.
I can't take this anymore!
Yay! Well, that wasn't so bad. Hey, look, scientists.
That was a very, very bad.
Excuse me, that's Abe and Janet.
Just breathe, Abe. We'll get through this just fine.
It knows we're here, Janet. There's nothing holding it back. Flat Hill is open.
You'll have to forgive my colleague, Abe. He's had a bit of a shock.
Nice.
We tried to get out through Flat Hill, and, well, some people died. Then, some genius deactivated the composer containment system. So, clearly, we need to find another exit out of here. And that's looking like manufacturing west. I don't exactly
Those are the devs
enjoy
of this
the idea,
game.
but
Oh, is that who they are?
Options are limited.
I figured Jack would have told me if it was someone important.
No.
There we go.
Powered down momentarily.
And you're still stinky.
Yeah, I'll wash myself later, don't you worry.
Consider this your top.
Alright. So I can drop this now. And... Is it screws? Oh, I can't pick up the box of screws. Tomato seeds. Hey, look, another chef's hat.
Do we really need another chef's hat when you have something better?
No.
But it makes him feel pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so pretty.
Oh, you're so fine.
Oh, so pretty and witty and gay.
Gay.
4% chance. Oh, I wonder if I'm holding the hammer, does it? No. Okay. Damn. I was hoping that by holding the hammer, I increase the chance of it, you know, getting properly what's-mahoozies.
No, not really.
Okay.
I am back at base.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm making my way back there now.
Oh, hey, it's
Making my
another one
way
of those
back
guys. Hang on. I think he's dead. Oh, you were aiming for that thing.
No, not dead
Did you
enough.
see
Not
her?
dead enough. We need to shoot him a little bit more.
Dr.
I don't know what I'm talking
Dorkman,
about.
Cascade. The first instances
we
of
go.
IS-064 appeared barely
Ooh,
6
the
months after our
executive
first successful
restroom.
operation event.
Nice.
It appears to
Yeah, it's at the Golden Crapper.
mist that has overtaken Flat Hill entirely. The surviving residents have been evacuated and a cordon established around the town, citing a chemical spill. The residents, not to mention our counterparts at the EPA, are less than impressed. But the knowledge we already gained, even in this short time, is beyond value.
Thank you.
Alright, I think we should head back to base, Grant.
Hey! Filing cabinet huge is being contained. I just can't pick it up right now. I'm just gonna drop... what am I gonna drop? I'm gonna drop this game console. And then pick up this filing cabinet. Alright, where are we going?
Back to base.
I will need your help in figuring out where to go.
back to base.
All right, I found a way out. I think. Meow. Those two show up all the time in the update trailers. Oh, okay.
I mean, he'd know this if he played the game more, but he doesn't.
To be fair, I probably wouldn't have noticed even if I did play the game.
Yeah, he dumb like that. I mean, he's smart like that.
Yeah, nah. My intelligence is reserved for other things, like trivia nights on Tuesdays, or the critically acclaimed MMORPG, Final Fantasy XIV.
Those levels are dire.
My glucose levels are dire.
Alright, knife can go in there, hammer can go in there. Torch will need to get recharged at some point. Office supplies, you can go in there. Alright, so, where is... Huh. It's not in my inventory anymore. I swear it was. Also, what do I do with these power cells? They're kind of a bit radioactive-y.
Put them in a chest for now?
I'll put them in the tech chest. Ah,
yeah,
so that's
for now.
And then magazine and stapler, and then I might need that splint actually. So hang on a second. And then you aren't losing any blood.
I can feel my blood sugar falling.
Bones are fine. There we go. So, what do we do now?
Take one of the power cells and bring it over to Grayson.
Oh yeah, the forklift.
Yep.
Okay, so that's this ways-ish. Oop.
I have a friend now.
Hang on.
I have a best friend now.
That's cool.
Oh, what's that?
Bring him back to base.
Oh, did you get a pet? Did you?
Maybe.
There we go.
There he is.
Alrighty, so not over there.
How did you get him?
I can feel my blood sugar falling.
Pest trap, and then feed him 3 nachos, wheat. Nachos or wheat, I think. Yeah. You have to make sure that they walk into the trap. This is gonna be a bad time.
Oh, there's multiples of them. Okay, that's not good. You're gonna have to give me a minute.
Oh, the crafting bench.
You want me to craft you a small pet bed?
Probably not now.
Okay, why is there a lot more enemies in places that we've already explored?
Yeah, that's normal. As you progress, harder and harder enemies just start showing up. That's
okay.
pretty normal. Oh, the potato. Oh, wow. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna put the keypad hacker into the thinger because I'm gonna head off and make into the tech box because I'm gonna head off and make myself some dinner because I haven't had dinner yet.
All good, all good. What time is it? It's 8:55. Ah, okay.
Grant, you should take it because this is your save.
Pick what?
The hacking device.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you can equip it like you did with the other thing.
Oh, cool. It's a. Nice. Wait, where did you put the hacking thing?
Tech box.
In tech box.
Ah, okay, cool.
So now you can open doors, and I have to depend on you to open doors.
Okay.
So yeah, you can equip it like any of the other equipables. Did you grab it?
It's in the tech box. I'll just leave it in there.
No, you need to bring it with you.
Why do I need to bring it with me?
Next location.
Oh, still doing things.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. Ding.
Have you seen my buddy?
Alright, well, I'm a bugger
Cool.
off and I'm gonna make food, so I'll talk to you later.
All good. Thank you for keeping me occupied.
No worries.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. It'll be good. So yeah. Oh, my neck. What in the world? All right, here we go. All right. So this is fully repaired. I got a leg brace in case I drop again. I got a fizzy bang in case I get thirsty again.
Air quality bulletin. Absolute humidity exceeding nominal levels.
What in the world? Hey, Coach stole my shirt, but just as he left. All right. Oh, I'm actually hungry. Hang on a second.
Yeah, you should eat something.
Did we put anything in here for me to eat? No, we did not.
Also, there is a hacking device slot in your inventory, by the way. So you don't have to put it in your hotbar. In case you're worried about not having enough inventory space.
Yeah, no, it's the hacking device went into the hacking thing, so it's fine.
Yep. Just making sure you know.
Yep. Now I'm just waiting for at least 2 pieces of meat to...
We have a lot of fish. You might want to cook the fish.
Oh, okay. Think, fish. Well, once one of these things finishes cooking... I wonder, does it cook slower when there's a fog?
No.
Okay.
Fog adds something interesting.
Alrighty then. Things, and then we just do the little run around. So Jack, how's employed life treating you?
Fantastic.
No, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So,
I wish I had money for food though.
Yeah, you mentioned in chat at one point that you were paid on a monthly basis rather than a fortnightly basis. I'm very thankful I'm paid on a fortnightly basis with that regard. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Just, you didn't sound okay, that was all.
No, it's fine. I'm good.
I think one of the things finished cooking. Go. All right. How quickly does this fill me up? Nice.
Unfortunately, I do need to eat.
All good. All good. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna sit myself in this corner, watch you as you do your thingy-majiggy. I need that for my whore. Do you not have this particular? Did you not have this particular shirt that I had? All good, Artemis. But yeah, where was I? My train of thought.
I believe I need to, defecate.
Oh, do you need to take a shit, Jack? Sounds like you need to take a shit.
I guess. Not right now. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Imagine if you didn't... never mind. I need all of them in duplicates. Must have mighty horde. Ah, yes, because Artemis, like, when she has her ref sheet done, she wants to get, like, a drawing of her snap just lying on a pile of her treasures, which is just simply all of the different shirts that I have. If you're wondering what I'm doing while I'm waiting, is I'm just, like, tossing a ball left and right. I'm just that bored. Just waiting.
Wow.
I don't want to go out without you.
I mean, you can go explore. I'll come find you.
That's fine. Looking important. So,
Definitely
who
not
explored?
stopping you
Abe
from
and
doing
Janet
that.
barely survived. Janet says that manufacturing sector is our best hope of escape.
Yep.
Cookie for Goldie! Here's your cookie, Goldie. Alright, so...
If you remember where Grayson is.
Oh, that was the guy upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then... Alright. Okay, so we go... I'm trying to remember. So we go this way, I think? And
Up to second floor.
Yep.
Up the staircase, just go left.
Not the data farm.
I said left, not right.
Ah, manufacturing. There it is. Oh, I forgot the
Hello.
power cell.
Yep.
Give me a second. Give me a second. And I only need one, right?
Yep, just one.
Alright, here we go. Alright, so I just got a little bit of a radiation tingle, but that's fine. Nyum. Oh, what happened to the guy?
We healed him, so he has no reason to stay here.
Oh, okay. Got an anvil.
Do not pick up another. I'm gonna hit you if you pick up another hammer.
I didn't even know there was another hammer. Alright, so they say to access manufacturing west.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, there's a
Use the
check-in.
check-in station. Yep.
Check-in approved. Check-in approved.
Nice. Ooh, cement.
You can make some base defenses with that.
I'm guessing that's bullet fire, not like construction. Boom, boom, boom.
When has construction ever sounded like that?
Jackhammers.
Not like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, you and I don't think of jackhammers sounding the same. Like, it's very muffled.
Stay quiet. They'll hear you.
I do whatever I want, lady. It's fine.
She's scared. Talk to her.
At first, I thought it was an accident. Those creatures everywhere. But then these terrorists came, hunting us. Now I don't know what to believe. What do they want? If I can just get to the blacksmith, he'll know how to get out of here. He's wired into this whole sector, and his
my
forge
neck.
is a fortress, so he should be safe.
Gosh, I can't wait for when I go for the
I'll open
massage
the
with
door
me and
now.
Artemis.
I'm telling you, they're shooting at anything that moves. Be careful. Maybe the blacksmith knows what happened to Frank and her team. Last I heard, they were down in the mines. Then the radio died, and all that started.
Door won't budge. Door won't budge means the door will never open.
Oh, hey, Manufacturing West.
Welcome to Manufacturing West. And that's like goofy gunfire, I swear.
Oh, yeah, that does look like gunfire.
You can go back.
Nice.
anyone hear me? Oh, hey, I'm over here in the crane.
In the crane.
The glass is bulletproof, but these guys don't know the meaning of give up. I keep hearing them talk some kind of code. Whatever. I figure the best thing I can do is distract them so they don't notice poor suckers like you. I'm guessing you're looking for a way out. But first thing those trigger-happy assholes did was lock down the crossroads. You could push straight through if you got the guts. Or you could get smart and work your way around them. Head for the garage. Try and touch base with the blacksmith. He ain't going anywhere. I know what I can do.
Come over here for a bit.
Hang on. Ooh, rebar. Nice.
Yeah. Now we can make the better crate. The bigger crate.
Just give me a second, I'm picking up random things. Alright, oh, the robot's destroyed. Oh, a military... What's Mahuzi?
Grant.
Is this guy friendly? Ow! Ow, fuck you. Well, you're an asshole. Why would you start hitting me? I was totally friendly. I'll just heal myself.
I need you to come with me.
Alright, give me a second.
Last time you said that, you just kept walking.
It's alright. Wait, how did you get through? Oh, you went back this way. Okay.
Yeah, and this is why.
Oh.
This is to open a shortcut back to base.
That's a long short, like...
This is not the longest shortcut.
Oh, good lord.
Oh.
This is not the longest shortcut. Yeah, once you open this door, and right in front of the robot, this is another way back into manufacturing.
Cool.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to open shortcuts because you can basically get around a lot faster sometimes. Did you want to drop off some stuff?
Not yet.
Gotcha.
There we go. Okay, so...
Kind of funny to see that guy actually spawn because sometimes he doesn't spawn in that area.
Oh. Where does he normally spawn?
No, sometimes he just spawns here, but on the random occasions I've seen him just not spawn.
Forklift certification, that sounds like something for Blue.
I made the same joke.
And then a refrigerator while we're at it. Nachos!
Yeah.
Aw, now I want nachos. Artemis, would you love me if I was big and beautiful? Oh, my inventory is full. Damn it.
Wow. You shouldn't have picked up the fridge, I think.
Look, we might need it.
Do we?
Maybe.
Do we?
Maybe. You never know. Artemis says yes.
Yes to the fridge or yes to being big and beautiful?
Yes to me being big and beautiful. That is a little comforting, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Why would you lock a restroom?
Target. Well, open it up.
Oh, hang on. There's a dude trying to hit me. I wish we could loot them.
What do you mean?
As long as you're happy and healthy, AK not at risk of being taken out by your own body, then I'm happy. Yeah, I don't want to end up in that situation. So, like, you know, definitely not going to go back to, like, that crazy 150 kilo situation that I was in. And what's more is, like, I wasn't even 150 kilos of, like, muscle. It was just 150 kilos of just... bleh. I know some people like that kind of appearance and what have you, but it ain't for me. I like muscle and voluptuousness. Those are my two things. Ooh, I can recharge things here. Oh my gosh, a pipe wrench! Hang on. Drop this, pick up the pipe wrench. Yeah! And another hammer, but I can't pick up the hammer. But I can pick up the tech scrap.
Don't pick up the hammer, bro. We have so many.
Yeah, that's fine, just... Oh, too heavy. Something has awoken me.
Yeah, there's an enemy just right there.
I should probably locate a restroom.
Oh, I forgot to go to the restroom. Hang on. I need to take a shit.
Go piss, girl.
There we go. So...
Kill the man.
Yeah. If I didn't have to worry about a job, I wonder if I would actually go to the gym more. Like, if you didn't have to worry about a job, do you think you would be doing art more?
Probably not.
Okay. What do you think you would do more of if you didn't have to worry about a job?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Really? Not even a little? Not even just a...
No, not really.
If I was a rich girl... Na 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 na.
Am I in your way?
I mean, to be honest, I might actually just
aren't you? And trying to keep out of sight.
More art.
I know the feeling.
But
I can't think about it
not
right
all
now.
the time.
Frake asked me to get something from the blacksmith. She's got a plan to get us out of here. It's extreme, but it just might work.
It's extreme, but it just might work. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, do I need...
There...
Oh.
No. There's a body on the... Okay. There's a body on the right side. You should interact with it. If you haven't gotten the manufacturing outfit.
Ow! Okay! Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can sneak up and hit him. Oh hey, military electronics. I'll pick up that. Shirt, color, top, and... Oh, okay, so now I can wear something that's more orange. Is that the idea?
Yep, that's the same shirt I'm wearing.
Okay. Door won't budge.
No, that isn't what I want to do. Thank you. Got this. No, I wanted to pick up this. Reload the gun.
I'm guessing that's bad.
What, the green water?
Yeah.
Oh, that's alright.
You've been
That's alright.
exposed to radiation and a bit nauseous, so we don't want to keep staying here, do we?
No, not really.
Excuse me.
I'm more surprised you're not wearing the suit more often.
No, apparently it gets me dehydrated, so... I wasn't thinking it was a... Code made it sound like as if, hey look, another anvil. I can't pick it up. Damn it.
Yeah, because anvils don't stack.
That's uncalled for. More rebar.
Yep, we need more rebar.
My blunt has increased in level. Amazing.
Also, another thing that I need you to open.
These pipe wrenches are amazing. You gotta get yourself one of these, Jack.
Nah, I got a rat scanner. It'll be fine. I can scan some rats with this. Please open.
Okay. I might want to head back to base.
Yep. You can take the tram back.
Oh, is there a tram here?
Yep. Fun part about the tram, you can put stuff in storage.
Oh.
Yep. So you want to pick up more things, or do you just want to head back?
I think I wanted to just head back. It's not as late as normal, but like my neck is just doing some real weird twinges right now. And, you know, 3 hours in a one-off game, that satisfies me.
Sorry. You'll never see the gatekeepers.
The who?
The gatekeepers.
Oh, I'm in the, what's-my-who's. I can't get up from my chair! Oh, wait. Yeah, I can. I didn't want to... There we go. Because I was sitting in the disabled section.
These readings make no sense.
Oh boy, you running. Sorry. Sorry if I hit you.
Oh good, oh good. Oh hey, it's what's-a-mahoozy.
For
Marion.
what do you seek? You freed the giants.
The giants.
If I can assist, I shall.
Porcelain key. We don't know what that costs. Power cell. We don't know what that costs. Porcelain shards requires bandages. A partial organ. Pins requires... You have some real weird trading. Why would I want pens?
We have no further business.
In case you have too many bandages for whatever reason.
Did you need this rat scanner?
No, I have
A
one.
human skull? What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, you can pick up some weird things in this.
Alright, well, I need to put some things away. At least I'm getting some experience for sprinting. Alrighty, so weapons.
Make some
storage.
Make the bigger crates first, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion.
Well, give me a sec. I'm moving some things around. And then I can eat this. Alright, so Geiger counter keychain.
Don't make that.
Fair enough. Spuddy.
Getting that one keychain early is not easy.
Alright. Alright. So a hazard crate. A medium-sized storage crate. Requiring 2 rebar. Oh, it's reinforced wooden plank is what we need. Whoopsies.
Yep.
Alright.
I now have something better. The thermal mallets.
Garden plot, nice. And then
garden plot is actually really good.
Grinder,
oh, shit.
Nice.
This reminds me, I need to check on the plants.
And then reinforced wood planks. Nice. Alright, and then mallet. Storage crate medium. Okay, so in order to make that, we need... Can I just craft the max amount of reinforced wooden planks?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't need it for anything right now.
I can make 10.
Oh,
you can make a makeshift
You can make up to 5. That means you can make up to 5 of these.
Alright, where is... Alright, so the enhancement bench requires crafting bench, LCD screen, and controller, which we don't have. Medium storage.
Consider this your top priority. Have a wonderful and productive evening.
Wouldn't let me craft them too many times. Alright, storage bench. 1, 2. There we go, and then... Alrighty, so storage bench number 4. Let's just put you here for now. We can probably move you around later on.
Yeah, we can.
Alright, and then 5, I'm gonna put you right on top.
I mean, we can just replace these small ones.
These are twice as wide. There we go. Oh, okay.
Yep, the platform cart, I just put it down.
Yep. Oh, okay. Okay.
So that we can move some stuff around if we have to.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll move all that nonsense in there then. And then that way. Is there any way we can scrap this, or can we only package it and that's it?
We can scrap it, yes.
Oop.
You can probably put one of the crates in there. For now. Unless you want to move these 2, and then you put it this way instead. Like one here and one here.
Just give me a second. I like the idea of having one here. There we go.
Maybe don't put it so close to the wall because of this one ledge up here. That's what's preventing you from pushing it all the way to the wall.
Okay, okay. I can't take all of this. Okay. Oh, hey, a vintage wooden... Oh, that's where you put the health thingies. Alright. I'm gonna put you in here for now. And then grab you, take all. And then ding, 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 ding. For now, and then... Alright, so then I need to go to you.
And that's all the crates cleared out, so if you want to put the medium crates over there.
Wait, I need this crate.
Yeah, we can sort this later.
Yep.
We can definitely sort this later.
Alrighty, hang on. Alrighty, so 6. And then can I put 8 up here?
Yeah, you should be able to put one more up there.
Should I be? Nah, it's not gonna let me put one more up there for whatever reason.
You might have to jump up high to access that.
Nah, it's okay, it's okay. And then put all the pieces in there.
Oh, that is risky as hell. I saw what you did. That is very, very risky.
Why is it risky?
I've had the loot bag just disappear into the crate, and then when I tried to claim the loot bag, it basically fell out of the world. That was only like once.
Alright, so scraps. Scrap.
Not gonna put anything else up here, right?
Up where?
Up. One more.
No.
Okay.
Ding 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 dong bum bum dun 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 dun. Alright, so this is tech. And then this goes into scraps. So here, coils go in there. This goes into scraps. And then 7, 8, 9. Cloth scraps. Bio scrap. And then sort. Same. I'm gonna put oils in here actually. And then these can go in there. And then no, we don't have enough wood. I'm gonna move the tech scrap out from there and into here. Then actually this will hold. Bandages can go in here. So this is office. So that means I can move over into office. Alright, and then this we can put into this location here for temp storage, or just actually furniture. I think we had, didn't we have a thing for furniture?
Yeah, we have a thing for furniture. So this is for manufacturing, I assume?
Yeah. Alright, and then this is furniture. There we go.
Put all the furniture in there. If you don't need any of the extra crates, you can definitely get rid of them.
Yeah, so...
We also had one for weapons.
We'll go for a small one for weapons.
Okay.
So yeah, so that way we can just have this sitting like so. Yay, food. What you made? Oh, Code made food now. Good for you.
Hey, Code has food.
Yep, you've already grabbed that, you already grabbed that, you already grabbed that. Awesome. What do I do with the tomato seed? Wait. I'll put it in the non-perishables.
Question mark?
I'll put it in the non-perishables because that should be over here. There we go. Sort. For whatever reason, Code there's a refrigerator in here.
I put a refrigerator in there.
Put it in the furniture. It's weird that I'm getting desensitized to the whole like women screaming thing.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Big stretch. Ugh.
Big stretch.
Actually, I can't even do a proper stretch while I'm sitting down like this because I need something for my neck. I need to remember not to sleep on my side tonight, otherwise it will cause problems.
Oh, what happened?
It just because of the way like I roll my shoulder, like my arms forward when I sleep and such like that. It was doing something to the upper trapeze and the rhomboid, so yeah, just not a good idea.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so let's us review. Keep the nachos, honestly. I like the nachos. And
despite them radiating you just a little bit.
Wait, they're irradiating me? What?
Yep, they are.
Very mild when ingested.
Yeah.
But that's when it's ingested.
Yeah,
did you
when
talk to
you're
Blue
eating.
about Diablo 3? Yes, I did briefly. I don't think he's free. Like, he's also just got off from collaboration with both myself and then with Lasley, so I think he's wanting to, like, sort of tone down collaborations and what have you, but I'll follow up with him again just to make sure, like, is he sure he doesn't want to join in for, you know, Diablo 3 on Sunday. But yeah, as for me... Oh, you can reset the thingamadoogie from here. That's kind of neat. As for me, I am probably going to go and call it... Oh, hang on, I gotta... As for me, I am probably going to go and call it here. Because, you know, it's a pretty decent time. I don't want my neck still giving me gripe. Are you sure you want to abandon your colleagues? You are the host, and anyone connected will be removed from the game as well. You all good for...
Hold on. I just need to put a bed down.
Ah, for your little guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Bombardier. Good for them. Alrighty then.
Sobbing, I'll never see them again.
Sobbing, never see them again. Maybe next year.
I'll never see them again.
Maybe next year when it's just sort of like, oh, it's that time of the year.
And then you restart the game instead of continuing.
No. I'll remember to continue this one. Okay? I'll try
next year, I have to wait till next year to play more.
It's a figure of speech, okay? It's just a figure of speech. But yeah,
making me upset.
That is going to be it for me tonight. I reckon the next time I stream on Monday, it's probably going to be Talos Principle or something with puzzles and what have you. I don't have Outer World or whatever, or Outer Wilds or whatever. Sorry?
Wilds.
I don't have Outer Wilds, so like that one will need to be like, put on the back burner or something like that until I finally, have myself a copy. But I need to be very responsible with my monies while I'm not buying a whole heap of food. I need to be paying off bills. I need to be going to a spa treatment for my girlfriend and I, so then that way we get to be all relaxed and not in pain. Well, me not in pain, her relaxed, lovely things like that. But yeah, that is going to be it for me. Jack, thank you so much for, joining in for Abiotic Factor and, getting me to play it. Do you think you'll ever get back into streaming, or you're just good for moderation and just being a little goober?
I'm good being a goober. I don't know when I'll stream again.
All good, all good. Alrighty then. In that case, let's see who is online and who we can go and raid. There isn't a lot of people playing Abiotic Factor in my little Venn diagram of recommended peoples. Let us see. It's tempting going for a random, quite honestly. Let's see. But who am I following right now? So I can still be in pain? No. You're just not in pain. Not or I don't know. Words will be fixed at another time. You know what? Let's go raid into similar, smaller size. Let's go for... Gosh, there's no name that's calling out to me right now. Unless, Jack, is there someone that you if you weren't watching me right now, you'd be like, oh, I just need to go watch this person instead?
No.
Damn.
Not really.
All good, all good. All right, let me just refresh my raid browser. Let's go for... Okay, that person isn't speaking English, so we can't go for that. This one is speaking English. We're gonna go for the BFG stream. So it's these are the big muscly guys and what have you. So it looks like they're playing some Pal World right now, and they're looking to try and get to 1,300 followers, I think it is, with that one. So we're gonna go raid into them, and we're gonna go with the good old short and sweet raid message. So if you're not subscribed, that's okay. You're welcome to use whatever other kinds of emotes that you want. And otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. It was very casual. I will be back online Wednesday night for more Uncharted 3. I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. And if I don't see you Wednesday night, hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Say bye, Jack. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Where?
Bye. Almost there.
Bye.
And